You may rest assured he intends to force the issue. Both men, however, better keep an eye on Robert Presley. With 5 races remaining, number 59 is the man on the move. With 4 wins, including last week at Richmond, even though 169 points behind, he's the spoiler. 3 men, 3 dreams, only 1 champion to be crowned. Which, if any, will take a step closer to that goal this afternoon at the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. Motorsports proudly presents, live from Dover Downs International Raceway, flag-to-flag coverage of the SplitFire Spark Plug 200 by Track Auto. Well, the man who most worries both Todd Bodine and Joe Nemechek is pressing the issue again. Robert Presley has outqualified both of his adversaries sitting outside of the second row. But at least Joe will be able to see the green flag when it falls. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Evans. And Joe Nemechek, a good qualifying effort. Way ahead of Todd Bodine, and you can see Presley.
Yes, I think it's our best qualifying run ever here at Dover. And the Texas Pete Lazito Pharmacy Racing Electronic Chevrolet is run real good. We've been really working on our qualifying effort. We seem to have the setup and the stuff we need for all the races. You know, once the race starts, last few weeks we've been in the back and going right to the front. So now I think if we start in the front, maybe we can get ahead and win this thing.
The priority is checkered flag or staying ahead in points?
Well, what we come here for is to win, and it's going to be a tough race. You know, Robert Presley, there's all the Busch guys are up here. Now we got some Winston Cup guys. You know, Bill Elliott starting right next door, and it's going to be a tough race today.
Now, how far back is Todd Bodine starting? Here's Glenn Jarrett to tell us.
Well, Steve, he is way back here in the 9th row, starting in 17th position. Now, Todd is no stranger to this racetrack. He got his first ever Busch win here in 1991, and since he won on TNN at Nazareth, Pennsylvania back in May, they haven't finished out of the top 10. That's incredible. But I know you're a little disappointed with this qualifying run. Have you got the car sorted out, Todd?
Yeah, we got a half-hour practice this morning, and we got the car really good. We're looking forward to it. We made a couple little changes, and it just brought the car right in. I messed up in the first practice yesterday and slid up and got in the wall off of 4, and we missed all that practice and only got 3 laps in the next practice. So for qualifying, we didn't have a whole lot of time on the track, and just did the best the car would give us, and we worked on it this morning, and we're pretty good right now.
Well, guys, don't take your eye off of this man. He has been very, very consistent, very good on the super speedways. Steve Evans?
Monster Mile, because it's a nifty nickname and looks good on T-shirts. It's notorious for chewing up cars and spitting out drivers. No one knows that more than our master racecaster, Mike Joy.
Well, thanks, Steve, and hello, everyone. We have certainly seen a lot of heartbreakers here at this racetrack. What a season. 1 point apart for the point lead, 16 different winners, 2 shy of the record. But what a racetrack. In 17 trips here, the Busch Series has seen 14 different winners. Not that it's so tough to run well here, it's just tough to finish up front here. Look at the stats on this demanding racetrack. Very short straightaways, very steeply banked turns, and unforgiving concrete at both the inside and the outside. Now, I've seen some tough races here, but let's talk to the fellas who have been in some tough races here. My broadcast colleagues, Neil Bonnet and Buddy Baker. First, let's go down to the garage area and Neil.
Guys, I'm kind of sitting here just taking it easy. Everybody knows what a grueling race Dover is. It's even tough on old announcers like me. When we say tough, we're not over-exaggerating. This is one of the hardest races to finish on the circuit, much less win. And we got the big points battle going. The guys need to finish here, and this is a tough racetrack just to say, hey, I want to start the race, I want to finish. It's rough on equipment. And about the time you think you got it under control, you don't. For more on that story, let's go to Buddy Baker.
Thanks, Neil. You know, in the spring of the year, Robert Presley made this race look like a cakewalk. But this racetrack even touched the winning car. I'm with Ricky Pearson here. Ricky, tell them just a little bit of what happened in that race to you guys.
Well, Buddy, you know, we started off running real well, and about 20 or 30 laps in the race, things started smoking just a little bit. And we're concerned about it. NASCAR warned us about it. You know, if it got any worse, they'd have to stop us. So, you know, the smoking stopped, and the caution came out. So we come down to pits, and Robert says we don't have any clutch. So that was one problem, you know, and he had to finesse the thing around the racetrack the rest of the rest of the race, and fortunately, you know, we was lucky enough to win the thing. And when we got back home, we had a couple of valve springs that were broke, and you know, late in the race, the thing got to missing just a little bit. So we were lucky it was just 200 miles instead of 500 miles.
Well, good luck today, and now back up to Mike.
Thanks, buddy. Dover Down's reputation as a car breaker is truly well-deserved. Today's TNN exclusive live coverage of the SplitFire Spark Plug 200 by Track Auto is being brought to you by SplitFire Spark Plug. More power, more mileage, or your money back. By Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. And by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft and Miller Genuine Draft Light, taking the country by storm. We'll be back to Dover Downs right after these messages.
SplitFire earned a United States patent. SplitFire doesn't look like any other spark plug. And the patented SplitFire doesn't work like any other spark plug.
5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. Quicker in the quarter mile. A 4.8% gain in mileage.
There's nothing like a SplitFire. You'll get more power and more mileage, or your money back. Get the guaranteed SplitFire advantage at leading automotive stores from coast to coast.
Last year, Davey Allison added something new to his car. It wasn't wider tires or a slicker shape. It was the same Haviland Formula 3 motor oil you can buy, straight off the shelf, to add more life to your car with complete protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Now, we're not saying it was Haviland Formula 3 that gave Davey the energy to lead more major NASCAR races than anyone last year and win this year's Daytona 500. But we're not saying it wasn't.
The Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car is back in town. So you better hold on. Spread the word around. Just a second down.
This is the end of how you think about dandruff shampoo. Of Head & Shoulders as you now know it. Now it's better. Because new Head & Shoulders gets to 10 times more of the places dandruff starts to help prevent flakes. Hey, would you try this with your ordinary shampoo? I think not. No other shampoo has this formula. New Head & Shoulders. This could be the end of flakes. Period.
Welcome back to Dover Downs. We've told you what a tough racetrack this is to finish on. Sometimes it's tough just to get your weekend started here. And as a result, one of the top runners on the tour will be starting way back in the field in this car. It's Jeff Burton, the driver of the TIC Financial Machine, who had difficulties in his qualifying run. You'll see here the car gets away from Burton, gets sideways, he tries to save it, and then locks it down to try to minimize the damage. The car was pretty well destroyed and used up in this crash, and thus he's found a pickup ride for the day. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, Jeff Burton didn't know there was going to be a Ford in his future when he came to Dover this weekend, but if you're going to have a backup car, that car belongs to Davey Allison. It's not a bad way to go.
Well, it's not too bad to have a person like Davey Allison let you use his race car, you know, when all these guys on their crew and on my crew pitched in and worked together, and we turned this thing into a pretty decent deal for all of us.
Well, best of luck to you. I know you got some practice time this morning. Now let's go back to Steve Evans, who's way up front with the pole sitter.
Jeff Gordon had a delightful qualifying experience. His #1 Ford is, as you said, on the pole. And Jeff, the 9th pole of the year, you've led twice as many laps as any other driver, yet you're 5th in points. That's the bummer.
Yeah, it really is, because we've had a real up and down season all year, and we've been a real competitive car many times. It just didn't put it in victory circle every time. So we're going to try to put that combination together here today at Dover, and let's just hope we can put that Baby Ford Thunderbird in victory circle.
We'll be watching.
Thank you very much.
Okay, right now it's time to go back to Mike Joy for this week's Haviland Update. BG in action from last weekend.
The first half of last Friday night's Autolite 200 at Richmond was dominated by Ernie Irvin, who led past the halfway point but then fell from the race with engine trouble. Hot battle up front, and number 24, Troy Beebe, couldn't get out of the way of the leaders quite quick enough here. Mark Martin in the number 60 Ford and Robert Presley in number 59 would continue to battle for the lead. Watch Martin scratch and claw his way to the front on the inside here. It came down, of course, to the final lap. This time, Darrell Waltrip putting the pressure on Presley in the back straightaway. But Presley, now the Busch Circuit leading winner of the season, holds off Waltrip on the final lap to win his 4th race of the year. And the point battle, how close can it get? Joe Nemechek leads Todd Bodine by just 1 point, with Presley mounting a late season charge ahead of series champ Bobby Labonte and Jeff Gordon. Kenny Wallace, Ward Burton, his brother Jeff, Butch Miller, and Steve Grissom round out the top 10 coming into Dover.
Well, guys, the man they're making all the fuss about is driving this car, number 59, Robert Presley. You won last time here at Dover, barely. Car barely stayed under you. You won last week at Richmond. Can you do it again?
Yeah, I believe so. You know, the car is in real good shape. We've run some awful quick laps in practice. We ended up 4th here. You know, right now, I just have a little bit of a stomach ache there and everything. Feel like, you know, if I can stay together, the car would be good.
Well, I'll guarantee you that the rest of the guys are going to have a stomach ache when they're looking at the back end of this number 59 Oldsmobile. Good luck to you, Robert. Mike Joy?
Thank you, Glenn. The weather here has been a bit tentative at Dover Downs. We've had a couple of showers already this morning. Nothing like the sustained rain that was here in June that forced this race to be postponed till Monday. But still a slight chance of showers, and it's a lot cooler than it was when these cars qualified here yesterday. Only about 68 degrees right now, and very high humidity. Today we'll be riding along with Ricky Craven, the leading rookie on the tour and the defending Busch Grand National North champion in his number 99 DuPont Chevrolet. There's a 360-degree race cam as a crew member leans in to make a last-minute adjustment there. And the roof cam as well on board Craven's car. We'll be riding with him, and he'll be going off from 26th starting position. Let's run you down through the field and show you how they qualified today. There is the pole sitter, Jeff Gordon, driver of the Baby Ruth Ford, and outside Hut Strickland, runner-up at Michigan last month. Tracy Leslie looking for his first win. He's in a good spot, 3rd today. Robert Presley right alongside. There's point leader Joe Nemechek in the 3rd row with Bill Elliott. In row number 4, Ward Burton, the Rockingham winner. Harry Gant, defending champ of this race. In the 5th row, series champ Bobby Labonte and Tommy Houston. In row 6, one of this track's 3 two-time winners in this series, Mike Waltrip with Richard Lassiter. In the 7th row, Kenny Wallace, who won a Martinsville this spring, and Chuck Bow, the 1990 champ. Two-time titleist Tommy Ellis in the 8th row with Jimmy Spencer, who has 2 wins this year. Todd Bodine 1 point out of the lead, and Steve Grissom, who has a win this season. Mike Wallace back on the tour, and Ed Barrier, who got a good run at Darlington. Troy Beebe from California, and Stanley Smith in the Mike Laughlin car. Jeff Burton will be back in the 12th row in Davey Allison's car, along with Bobby Dotter, the Radford, Virginia winner. Butch Miller seeking his first win, and rookie Ricky Craven. Hermie Sadler makes his 3rd career start in this series, and Tom Peck has 6 top 10 finishes here. Second-generation driver David Donahue and local favorite Larry Carroll. John Linville makes his first Dover start since 1987 this afternoon. Well, they fired the engines to get down to it. Ford and Oldsmobile up there on the front row. We'll take a minute there to warm them up before rolling them off around Dover Downs, and put up on the pole-sitting car of Jeff Gordon. Busch official there overlooking the work and talking to the control tower. I'm not sure if that engine is running. I believe he's been able to get started.
Well, you can see all the pulleys there. They're not turning, so he hadn't turned them over yet.
Let's go to Steve Evans.
This engine is not starting. The pole sitter, Jeff Gordon, having problems right at the get-go. We don't know exactly what it is. They don't know exactly what it is. Working on the distributors, they check the ignition switch. Jeff inside frantically, flipping everything he can. There's no key in these cars, just a little toggle. Oh, now it's turning over, but will it start? They put the coil wire back in. Jeff again trying to turn it over. It could be, it's cranking, it's cranking. They pump the carburetor, trying to put some fuel in it. So far, nothing. It's lit. Gordon's car is lit. The hood coming down.
There's a tense moment for anybody, much less the pole sitter.
I guarantee you his heart missed as many beats as that motor did when he was turning it over there.
2 wins this season, and the potential for as many as half a dozen more. Races they've led, had trouble with. Bill Davis, what a season he's gone through as car owner.
Mike, you're lucky right there. When you talk about potential things happening, potential there was for the electronic ignition to be dead. That's what scares all these mechanics and drivers. When it dies, there's no reviving. Most of these cars have 2 separate ignitions. And thank goodness they must not be getting some fuel to it. They checked the carburetor just before they put them online. They must have been out of fuel on the carburetor.
2 pace laps they'll give them as they roll out here down the straightaway at the Monster Mile. There's another look at Todd Bodine. He is mired deep in the field. They only had 1 shot at qualifying, 1 session, and he ended up 17th on the grid. 1 point out of the lead. Held by Joe Nemechek, who starts up in the 3rd row. There's Ricky Craven, who'll be giving us pictures from 26th starting position. Trying to work his way up through the field. And we'll be back with the start of the SplitFire 200 here from Dover Downs International Speedway, live on TNN, right after this.
When the job is tough, you need the best. And when you need the best, you reach for Channel Lock. For the power. The precision. For just plain counting on, there's only one. Channel Lock. Be sure you're getting genuine Channel Lock tools. Look for this trademark.
You know, working at AutoZone is more than looking up parts or ringing up sales. Most of all, it's listening. Because my customers know more about their cars than I'll ever know. They know every rattle by heart. I mean, that car is their baby. So when they've got a problem they're going to fix for themselves, I'm going to do my best to help them get whatever they need, no matter what it takes. Because people like that, they don't deserve anything less than the best I can give them.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sport Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
We're back live at Dover Downs. There's a look at the enclosed grandstand, which is the backstretch of the stock car track in front of the original horse racing oval. Just inside the Monster Mile. 1 more lap and we'll go right.
This bench gets a professional finish.
Up to temperature here. 2 pace laps for the preliminary indication, but they want to make sure everything's warm and up to running speed. What goes through your mind if you're Todd Bodine and you're back there in 17th starting spot on a track where you know you got to get to the front and be able to run, or at least find a place to run and get out of traffic and all. First here, $147,000 at stake for the 31 finishers, or 31 starters. 31 finishers. Now that's a wish list. 200 laps, 200 miles. Harry Gant is the record holder. Buddy, if you're Todd Bodine, what are you thinking right now?
Well, right now he knows he has to take his time, have patience, and go up through there. He's got Jimmy Spencer and a lot of guys that'll be on the charge. He has to be very patient, work with those guys, and go frontwards with those guys.
Neil, how many times have we seen that if somebody rides along, just trying to run along here and find a spot, it's a tough deal?
Yeah, you got to hustle to get to the front of this track. He's not going to have a lot of time taking it. Let's go down to Glenn in the pits.
An anxious moment there, Bill Davis. Is everything okay now?
Yeah, it's fine. It was just flooded. No big deal.
Just flooded. Common thing can happen to your own car. That's good news. Good luck.
Thanks. No big deal now, but if they'd had to roll that field off and put Gordon in the back, it would have been a big deal.
You know something, look at this straightaway here. It's banked more than a lot of racetracks are in the corner. There's really nowhere to get out of the way of harm's trouble on the straightaway here.
If you look at those skid marks, see all of them come from the top of the track to the bottom. The track is self-cleaning, but the only problem at the bottom is a big concrete wall. They come out there and it's like a bowling alley down here, then they tear them up.
Which is self-destructing.
Yes, sir.
Right after self-cleaning.
We promise.
200 laps the distance. Harry Gant, defending champion of this race. Robert Presley, the June winner, on Monday, as we were rained out on the scheduled Saturday date. Pace car is in. Ford and Oldsmobile up at the front of the field. We are green, and it's the Ford on the brake. Jeff Gordon that gives Hut Strickland a little hello down in turn 1 as they fight for the lead.
Leslie coming right in under a Strickland, too.
Hut Strickland not off to the best start here on the opening lap. Drops from second to fourth. Ninth time this season that Jeff Gordon has led the opening lap of a Busch Grand National race, and the 14th race he has led this year.
You know, Mike, Robert Presley runs every lap like it's the last one. Anytime he's not leading, it's because he just can't get there.
Back there about 15th spot in heavy traffic is Todd Bodine. He's worked under Jimmy Spencer and Tommy Houston, whose car skitters up the racetrack. Long way to go to the front.
You know, Mike, Buddy hit the key a while ago. We heard Todd Bodine say his car was good enough now. They fixed it where to go to the front. But he's got to be so careful coming through. Look at the traffic he's dealing with right here. Even though you got a fast race car, you got to deal with the other guys. Got one car down the apron, 3 and 4 coming in.
Is that John Linville? No, Linville's already on pit road, making the first stop of the day. Back with the leaders down in turn 1. Gordon, then Presley, and Tracy Leslie got off to a great start here. Qualified third, he's running third. The car that pitted was John Linville. Larry Carroll, also from Dover, Delaware, making a stop on the first lap with the hood up on his car.
We're seeing Jeff Gordon lead the race here. Not only did he set on the pole, he set on the pole by 2 miles an hour, buddy, and that's 0.3 of a second. It was a lot quicker than the rest of the field to qualify.
It's quite an advantage in qualifying, but in the race here, it kind of stabilizes. If you notice the 2 cars right behind him, they're running right with him.
Tommy Houston off the pace, dropped to 27th spot as we watch this battle within the top 10. There's Hut Strickland right at your screen. The black and yellow car, he dropped back a bit. He's now challenging Harry Gant. Troubled, it is Todd Bodine. Jimmy Spencer was the other car involved. And around they go. 2 more cars, Jeff Burton, Richard Lassiter, and add the 22 car in there as well, Ed Barrier.
Exactly what Buddy and I were talking about before. The factor of being back in that traffic, a little time off qualifying, misses qualifying, set up getting traffic, and gets in a problem early.
Didn't see how it started up in turn number 4, but Bodine was spinning, and then along came Spencer and appeared.
The good part is that car is still able to go around the racetrack. Normally, when you have a spin on straightaway here, it wipes the car out.
Lassiter, Barrier caught up in the aftermath. And at lap number 6,
Neil, that's what they usually look like when they get in that inside wall.
Yeah, he was, he certainly got some damage. Bodine's got some damage. This car here's hurt real bad, but Todd Bodine has some damage. But like you say, buddy, the key is he's able to keep running.
Well, we'll try to get you another look at how that got started when we come back to Dover Downs International Speedway. We're under the first caution of the day after just 6 laps.
SplitFire earned a United States patent. SplitFire doesn't look like any other spark plug. And the patented SplitFire doesn't work like any other spark plug.
5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. Quicker in the quarter mile. A 4.8% gain in mileage.
There's nothing like a SplitFire. You'll get more power and more mileage, or your money back. Get the guaranteed SplitFire advantage at leading automotive stores from coast to coast.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a new synthetic oil. The rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec's unique molecular structure bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oils. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
Iron Mike on rust.
I hate rust.
Iron Mike on tough.
This is tough. Rust tough. This is rust. Oleum? The dictionary defines tough as strong, not easily influenced. Like me. The definition of oleum is, We sprayed this rusty metal plate with fast-drying rust tough, exposed the rusted metal, then placed it in the torture salt fog chamber. The rust didn't spread. It stayed tough. You want tough? What do you want? Oleum. Got rust? Get tough. Rust tough.
Introducing Tire Foam from Armor All. One spray, and even old tires look great. Kind of makes you wish we make car foam. New Tire Foam from Armor All.
Take the heat out of shaving.
Soothe your razor burn with post-shave conditioning hydrogel from Old Spice. Because when you've got proof, who needs promises?
As TNN explores America, we invite you to visit Delaware, spots like the Golden Fleece Tavern, and there's a look at when Delaware was the first state to ratify the Constitution in 1787, earning it its nickname, the First State. Ed Barrier's memories of Delaware will not be pleasant ones, not from this afternoon, as he'll be the first car out of the event after smacking the wall as part of that 3-car incident down the front straightaway. Now, Todd Bodine made a pit stop and continued in the Hungry Jack car, but there goes the Grease Lightning machine off to the garage area. Let's have a look and see if we can figure what happened here.
Well, that's Jimmy Spencer directly behind the 34 car. Let's see if they have any contact. They're coming off the corner there. It hadn't quite, I tell you what happened, the spoiler, the air off the spoiler. When a car is that close, it makes it loose, and he just lost control of the car.
You know, buddy, without that replay, you would almost say, boy, it looked like Spencer tapped him, but there was about 6 or 8 inches of clearance in between us. Just like you said, he took the air off the rear spoiler, and here comes the 34 around.
Yeah, and he's along for the ride there, folks. When they tell you a driver did a good job when that car starts around like that, he's along for the ride. You notice the wheels are not turning in either direction.
Luckily enough, buddy, he stayed on the track for a long time on the pavement. He's got it locked down. He's going to come around, and the right front's going to tap the wall. If it hit the left front, he had some problem with the oil cooler area over there, but he tapped it with that right front, and since this has happened, he's been in the pits and back out on the racetrack.
And all that tire smoke from Todd Bodine's car, you'll see behind him, causes everybody else to have nowhere to look, let alone nowhere to go.
Well, Mike, when I say the air got off the spoiler, when a car is directly behind you like that, the air passes over the spoiler and onto the second car, and it really loosens the car up. This is what happens on a narrow racetrack. These guys were just a victim of nowhere to go.
Yeah, there was Lassiter, and there was Burton in Davey Allison's car trying to avoid him. Couldn't help it. Tagged him right head on.
Boy, Jeff Burton dodges a bullet. Now, here's our speed shot, and we'll use that for a different replay angle. If you were sitting on the wall, thank goodness you weren't, this is what you would have seen. Here comes Todd, and look at that smoke cloud and everybody trying to drive through it.
Yeah, the natural thing to do is really slow down, and the cars coming up in that smoke have less time to react than the cars initially in the first part of the wreck, so that's why you see delayed action like that.
That's Clyde McLeod with the roll of tape, the crew chief on the CC and Welliver car.
Mike, in a situation like this, they had the luxury of several caution laps. They came in the first time and got it to where it would roll. Now they're concerned about getting it where it's competitive again. The car is not damaged so bad that they can't get it running good. Let's go down to the pits and see what Glenn has on it.
Well, guys, if anything good has come out of this for Todd Bodine, because of that complete spin that he did, NASCAR has allowed him to change all 4 tires under this caution. The tire rule for today reads that he can only change 2 tires per caution, but because the car made a complete 360, they told him he could bring it in because the tires are flat spotted. There seems to be no other damage to the car, minor damage to the right front fender, but they didn't even have to use a hammer on it. They just beat it back down with their fists, and they're ready to go. Let's go back up pit road to Steve Evans.
Well, there's no good news, unfortunately, for Ed Barrier. Your car is out, Ed?
Yeah, we're out for today. Todd Bodine lost it off of 4 here, and I seen the wreck all along and was trying to get by it and slowed up for it, and 5 cars hit me in the back there at the start-finish line, turned me into a wall. So that was it for the Grease Lightning car today. I really hate it because the car was running good, and we had a bad qualifying run, but I thought it was going to be good for the race, but not today.
Sorry to see you out.
Thank you.
Guys?
Ed finished 3rd here in 1987. Dover, his best career finish on this speedway. Lights still on the safety car. Have another lap or 2 here. They had a little bit of debris there to clean up along the front straightaway. And a couple of pit stops. And we'll get set to go back to racing. Jeff Gordon is the leader. Robert Presley runs in 2nd. Tracy Leslie in 3rd. Bill Elliott's the 4th place car. Joe Nemechek, the point leader, is running in 5th. Ward Burton is 6th. Bobby Labonte 7th. Harry Gant 8th. 9th, Hut Strickland. And 10th, Mike Waltrip. Only 3 drivers have won more than 1 Busch race here. Harry Gant, Darrell, and Mike Waltrip. 10 laps complete. And in 1 more lap, the indication is we'll go back to green.
Mike, look what a crowd for Saturday right here in Dover. You know, this racetrack holds a lot of people. They usually fill it up on Sundays. They pretty well pack them in here for the day.
Got a good crowd on hand.
I tell you, it surprised me. You know, we got rained out last time we was up here, and on Monday we had a tremendous crowd here. These people love this Busch Grand National Race.
Good competitive racing, a relatively short distance race, 200 miles, 200 laps here, and always a lot of action and occasionally some real surprises. Remember 2 years ago here when first Ernie Irvin and then Davey Allison each led under the last caution, and surprise, everybody who went to the exits had to read in the paper that it was Todd Bodine who ended up in victory lane. Still a bit of head shaking going on that one.
You know, Davey Allison's car ran out of fuel, and with this banking the way it is, he couldn't pick up the fuel. He said if he could have turned the car around and backed the car around the racetrack, he could have finished the race. Well, the fuel pickup is in the right rear of the gas tank because momentum swings the fuel over there. At slow speed, it ran over the other side. He couldn't pick up fuel, ran out of fuel, and lost the race.
The rain here has taken its toll, including down in the TV compound. We hope to have graphic support back with us shortly in this event. They're making a minor pit stop due to the weather that we've had here this weekend. Light is out on the safety car. Jeff Gordon, Robert Presley, and Tracy Leslie getting set to go at it here. 11 laps complete, only the first 6 run under green. Back under green, a jump from the 4th position. That's Ward Burton on the inside, and he's got Nemechek with him.
Bill Elliott made a big run on the inside and got by him as they came up the gears.
So Elliott's sharp on the restart. He grabs 3rd away from Tracy Leslie. Nemechek is to 5th. Burton to 6th. And just out of the picture to the right behind Bobby Labonte, old Harry Gant. There he is, that yellow number 7.
Oh, man, you hear what he called him, old Harry Gant. The winningest old man I know of. I tell you, he can drive that kind of a race car.
That's for sure.
Mike, we're sitting here watching Bill Elliott in the 11 car. He's ran several Busch races this season, and he's never been satisfied. They can't get the car to perform at the level he wants it to run at, but it looks like this is the best effort he's had all year in his Busch car.
Well, what concerned me was seeing Harry Gant this far up this soon in the race. Here's another fellow moving up, Jimmy Spencer, after being right in the midst of that altercation. And there's Chuck Bound battling with Kenny Wallace.
You know, you're talking about Jimmy Spencer. He got 2 speeds. He drove for me at one time. Wide open, stop. That's all he knows.
Or maybe wide open till it stops.
There's the Melling number 9 car. Mike Wallace driving today. And Steve Grissom right behind him. Back up toward the front where Bobby Labonte has caught Joe Nemechek. We are 15 laps into the SplitFire Sparkplugs 200 here at Dover Downs. There's the leader, Jeff Gordon, and the advantage he enjoys over Robert Presley. And we'll be back with more coverage from Dover Downs after this.
Be cowboy.
It's the Big Four. Willie, Waylon, Johnny, and Chris, the Highwaymen, Monday on TNN.
Head to Nashville for the Grand Ole Opry's 67th birthday celebration, October 15th through the 17th. All 3 fun-filled days are only $67.50 a person. You'll enjoy a rollicking hee-haw salute to the Opry, a Grand Ole Opry sightseeing tour of Music City, a star-studded bluegrass concert at the Grand Ole Opry House, exciting rides, spectacular shows, and an Opry Star autograph party at Opryland Theme Park. And finally, a birthday performance of the world-famous Grand Ole Opry. Hurry, tickets are limited. Call 615-889-3060 for reservations and information, or send a check or money order for $67.50 to this address. The Grand Ole Opry, grander than ever in its 67th year. How would you like to win a trip to the Opry's birthday celebration? Just watch Grand Ole Opry Live backstage Saturday night on TNN. Send in the correct answers to the Opry trivia questions, and you could be on your way to the big celebration.
Back at Dover Downs, Jeff Gordon is trying to check out on the field. The battle from second on back, and there it is. From Robert Presley, who is second. Third on back is Bill Elliott, with Tracy Leslie there, the 4th place car. Bobby Labonte, Joe Nemechek, Harry Gant, and Hut Strickland. Running single file, trying to track down the leaders, but if anything, those leaders are scooting away.
I don't know about the leaders, but the leader is. I think of Jeff Gordon. He's pretty well moving out. There's Labonte taking a look to the inside. Under the 72 car. Looks like he's got a clean shot on him here.
He better have.
Run up on a lap car, ran out of room, had to turn back up to the outside. Nemechek taking advantage of that situation. going by also.
And Tracy Leslie getting shuffled back a bit, being a little bit cautious here in the early going.
Let me tell you, though, that was a smart move. This early in the race, there's a little give and take involved in this sport, too. And he could not have went in that corner 3 deep. He did a very heads-up thing.
And watching the fourth place battle, here's Kenny Wallace in 36, racing Ward Burton side by side, and the man that's filling up both their mirrors is Jimmy Spencer. Spencer in 12th place coming up. It's 10th, 11th, and 12th there as they work lap traffic.
Well, I know Dick Moroso is watching today. He's not up here, but everything's going good, Dick. This guy's really got his foot in this car.
He's had it, like you say, his foot's either on the floorboard or through it. Nobody here pushes the car any harder than Jimmy Spencer. 10th place battle. Kenny Wallace 6th in the points. He's only 8 behind Jeff Gordon. Trying to salvage a good finish here this season. And there's Kenny underneath Ward Burt, who is 7th in the points. Just 8 points behind Wallace.
Boy, when Spencer gets an opening, he don't waste any time. He put him away. I mean, right up under him and gone.
Let's go back up to the 4th place race. Back up where Bobby Labonte has passed Bill Elliott. Make that for third place.
Neil made a comment a second ago. It's unusual to see Gant this far up this early in the race. If he's running in 4th place already, he's going to be trouble before this race is over.
He's there challenging. Gant is 6th, Nemechek 5th, and Bill Elliott now the 4th place car. Nemechek nursing that 1-point lead over Todd Bodine, who, if you joined us late, was involved in a lap 6 crash, made a couple of pit stops, but is still on the lead lap. He's now running 21st. Bodine is.
There's Gant. He's took a look to the inside of Nemechek on about 2 or 3 different occasions, and he'll take a look outside, inside. It's not going to be long, buddy. He'll be around it.
Well, he's going to have to work on it because the cars are strong in different places. It looks like Nemechek is a little faster through this area. Now you'll see the 7 car close right back up coming up out of the corner. So it's going to have to work on it.
Lap traffic a factor here. David Donahue's car, green and black machine, just ahead of this battle for 4th place.
Elliott's car made a pretty strong move at the first of the race. It looks like he's fading a little bit. He's got these guys crawling all over the back of him. I don't know if he's lost a little bit. The other two have picked up the pace, but Bill moved right up there in the second, and now he's falling back just a little bit.
Jeff Gordon's the leader. Robert Presley is 2nd. 3rd, Bobby Labonte, and this is the race for 4th. Buck Strickland trying to stay with that 3-car pack. Strickland in 7th.
You know, Neil, you watch these 2 cars go in the corner, and Harry will close in, getting in the corner just a little bit, and right along here, the 87 car, Nemechek's a little quicker, and then he'll close back up. But it's like a chess game right now. The first one that makes a mistake.
Here's a look at the rundown. Gordon a bit checked out. Presley in 2nd. Then this battle we're watching, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Labonte, Elliott, and Nemechek. Harry Gant right with them, as his husband Strickland, and Mike Waldrop. Tracy Leslie settled in 9th, and Jimmy Spencer 10th. We'll complete 30 laps next time by here at Dover Downs and return with more coverage of the SplitFire 200 after this.
Three reasons not to buy BF Goodrich TA tires. Being the center of attention makes you uncomfortable. You think a Little Deuce Coupe is a place where tiny chickens are kept. You think Lug Nuts is a high-fiber cereal. BF Goodrich TA tires for the rest of us.
I was sure this year's father-son picnic was on Saturday, but They said no, it was definitely on Sunday. And you know, they never listen to me.
Here's to wise men, wiser women, and comfortable blue jeans. Wrangler.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil with not one but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
Folks in these parts think Tom Lawton is the best thing to ever turn a wrench. But back east, they'll put their money down on the guys at McClellan's. It seems in every town there's always one place that does a little bit better job fixing your car. And it seems the things they all have in common are great mechanics, great service, and Napa parts. Look for the sign of quality car repair. Napa.
TNN's exclusive coverage of the SplitFire Sparkplug 200 is being brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts. We're under caution here at Dover Downs. That's the man who brought it out. Tracy Leslie was coming out of turn number 4. It looked like he might have had a tire going down for a couple of laps, and then coming down turn 4, something happened and the tire just let go. Left a big chunk of it, several of big pieces of it out on the racetrack, and the caution flag came out. We'll see pit stops here under the yellow. 40-mile-per-hour speed limit on pit road. That's about 3,500 RPM in second gear for these cars. There's Harry Gant in, Jeff Gordon coming in at the mandated speed limit. And Warren Burton is also on pit road. I'm surprised more drivers didn't take the opportunity to stop.
That's not real smart. I'm not second-guessing these guys, but they should have come in with the leader, because anything they do now, they'll be behind.
Chuck Bowen is in. Jeff Burton has made a stop. And Tracy Leslie is in. There's a look at the tire that came off that car, and it looks like the tread just separated from the carcass.
Yeah, well, he slowed down a couple laps before, and I guess he heard it coming apart, and he moved up high on the racetrack. He's very lucky he didn't knock the wall down.
So they're putting another set of tires on it.
Now, that tire we showed, I believe, was from Butch Miller's car. Miller had made a stop a lap earlier with the same problem. And here's Tracy Leslie making his stop, getting back out.
Davey Allison's car, he pitted. He was in the rear, he didn't have anything to lose, so he's getting on there and get some pit action done on his car.
That's how you win races right there, though. He come from the back to the front all of a sudden. If these cars come in now, they're behind all these guys.
Well, here's the new leader. Robert Presley inherits the lead after the pit stop by Jeff Gordon under caution. Presley, the race leader. Bobby Labonte is second. And with 35 laps complete, you're watching from Ricky Craven's car. We'll be right back.
Costly engine wear occurs when you first start your car because even the best motor oils and additives are down in the oil pan. Slick 50 protects your engine at startup. It treats the engine, not the oil. Independent lab tests showed Slick 50 reduced engine wear by 50% for 50,000 miles. Since 1978, over 15 million people worldwide have used Slick 50. Starting your engine without it is a terrible thing to do.
Okay, 3 reasons not to buy BF Goodrich TA tires. The only bouncing you do is with a personal check. To you, life in the fast lane means 8 items or less. All you know about 4x4s is that they hold up your front porch. BF Goodrich TA tires for the rest of us.
Miller Genuine Draft. It's cold filtered. That's how we keep our commitment to everyone who knows that draft beer is real beer, pure beer, the best beer. It's why so many people can enjoy a beer whose taste hasn't been changed by heat pasteurization, and why so many people are making a change of their own to the genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold.
If you've been watching TNN, you know about the TNN Explores America Sweepstakes. We're giving away a Winnebago Brave, a Dodge truck, trips to Hawaii and Alaska. But did you know that 150 people can win TNN Explores America travel packs? A duffel bag, a T-shirt, Fling camera, a Shoney's coupon, and the Cooking with Southern Celebrities cookbook. To enter, call 1-900-370-4TNN or send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to this address. Each call costs 95 cents per minute. With all these prizes and chances to win, get your entries in soon for the TNN Explores America Sweepstakes.
Banana George Blair does a pretty good job of staying young. We just help him out with the dash, seats, and tires of his car. There is a fountain of youth, and we own the patent. Armor All Protectant.
This bench gets a professional finish with Krylon spray paint. No runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes. The other brand's still tacky. Wow! What a game!
Good game, Mr. Euchre.
He's a lot tougher than he looks. For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
37 laps complete. We'll stay yellow for another lap here. Robert Preston, the leader. Bobby Labonte, Bill Elliott, Joe Nemechek, and Hut Strickland. Leader Jeff Gordon gave up the lead and came in because his left rear tire was cut. So the timing of the caution, very fortuitous for him. There's Stanley Smith, just barely a lap down, alongside Robert Presley.
Whenever they saw that tire problem, saw several of the guys coming in and looking at their tires. Chuck Bound was checking his tires over. Anytime there's a question, you always wonder about it.
Right. Now, I said something earlier. I'm a day ahead. There's that number 9 car, and it's not the Millen car. Of course, it's a Barry Owen car, the High Point Bedding FTP brake car that had been driven by Clifford Allison and now Mike Wallace behind the wheel. Here's another look at Tracy Leslie coming down the front straightaway from our speed shot.
See big sections of tire, the whole tread coming off as he came down the front straightaway.
That little bit of rubber there didn't look like much, but it sounded like the world come to an end when he come down through there. You couldn't believe the noise that makes.
Let's mention Mike Wallace is running in the 11th spot in Barry Owen's car there, saw him just a second ago. Light is off on the safety car this time. Robert Presley looking for 2 in a row at Dover and 2 in a row on the series. He's won 4. That's more than anybody else this year. And he's banked $216,000. Number 2 on the list.
Not bad in the Busch series, Mike, getting ready to... This series here puts up plenty of money. They're going to go another caution lap here, Mike. Looks like they're going to hold it one more.
I don't know if they're making an adjustment on the field. That's what they're doing. They're moving Stanley Smith into line. It will be apparently a down finger single file restart. And no, excuse me, I'm corrected. They're moving the lap cars to the outside is what they're doing. Here the cars on the lead lap start on the inside.
Just the opposite.
Yes, just the opposite as at many tracks. Look back through the top 10. Tommy Ellis back there in 10th spot. And back through 15th, there's Mike Wallace at 11th. Tommy Houston, Todd Bodine, and Ricky Craven. Back through 15th position. 28 cars currently on the lead lap. Out of the race, Richard Lassiter and the 22 car of Ed Berry are taken out in that lap 6 incident. Getting set for a restart here as they're up in turn 3. That's Butch Miller a lap down as well. Steve Evans?
Tires have already been a major story here, so let me explain to you the tire rule for this race at Dover. It varies with every Busch Grand National event. Depends on track conditions and what NASCAR feels the tire wear will be. You can only change a maximum of 2 tires under yellow. You can't go back out under the same yellow and grab 2 more. Under green, well, you do anything you want. But under yellow, only 2. And that could be a factor before it's over.
Thanks, Steve. Now we get a 1 to go indication once more for NASCAR. They wanted all those lap cars moved up to the outside lane and ready to go. It bears pointing out that in this series, there are 2 brands of tires in use, the Goodyears and the Hoosiers. Drivers can pick from those 2. Each tire company designates a compound, rubber compound to be used. Goodyear went with a very hard tire here. The 2 drivers that just had those problems were both on Hoosiers, Butch Miller and Tracy Leslie.
Yeah, you know something else, Mike? These cars starting on the inside. When you run as hard as you do to get an advantage up front, you should be able to pick the inside of the racetrack. That's where the racing groove is. I think Busch Grand National is very smart in that respect.
Mentioned two drivers that are on the move. Jimmy Spencer started 16th. He's running 7th in the Daly's First Aid car, number 20. And Tom Peck in the Levin Racing, number 19, started 28th. He's up to 12. Good run here today in the early going.
Half of the crowd here is from his hometown, so he's got to go.
McConnellsburg, Pennsylvania. Green flag at 40 laps. Lap cars to the outside. Presley moves up a bit to get an angle on turn number 1. There's Jeff Gordon coming up from the back of the field, along with Harry Gann and the other cars that made pit stops.
Mike, all season long, this is where Jeff Gordon's really had to be careful. He's had a fast car all year, but on some of these times when he has to come through the track, he's got into some accidents. He's going to have to really pace himself. He's got a car plenty capable of getting back to the front. He's just got to watch his traffic.
Right behind him, you're riding with Ricky Craven. This is from the root cam. And back up front with the leader. Presley and Labonte used a couple of those lap cars to move away a bit from the field. Now Bill Elliott clearing the lapped automobile of Stanley Smith. Elliott, the third place car.
You look at that,
laps.
Excuse me, Mike, when you look at that speed shot, it almost looks like that straightaway's planned.
Looks that way, but it's not. Jeff Gordon moves past Todd Bodine.
No trouble there with the front end dinged up like that. That car of Todd Bodine did not drive as good as it did before he had the accident.
There you see the snout edged over on Bodine's car. And up front, Labonte made a bid for the lead. Not this time.
Kind of hitting him off at the pass there.
I'll tell you, Robert Presley is as tough and as talented a racer as his old man was. And Bob Presley gave no quarter and asked none.
Yeah, his father was tough, and he's from up there around Harry Gant country, and he's just as tough as Harry Gant is. I tell you, that guy loves a good battle. He's even got that little sneaky smile, kind of like Earnhardt. You know, like he's up to something, even when he's not.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what I like about Robert Presley. He'll win a race, and he'll get out, and everybody's always questioning these guys. There's no doubt this series is a stepping stone into Winston Cup, and they're always asking him, when are you going to move up? And he just says, I'm not ready yet.
Yeah, which is quite an admission to make. 5th place here, Mike Waltrip and Jimmy Spencer. That's Huck Strickland just ahead, the 4th place car. Jeff Gordon has moved up to 12th. He's got some running to do to catch these two.
His whole background is 30-lap feature, so he drives a long race just like his 30 laps. As Neil said, that's where he gets in a lot of trouble, but I tell you, you got to be that way before you can be a winner.
Gordon actually put a lot of distance on those other cars that made pit stops with him. And he almost scraped the wall. But up front, this is a torrid battle between Presley and Bobby Labonte, the defending series champ, who is 4th in points this year, 172 out of the lead.
Mike Aldrios kind of took a peek at the one car when you were talking about, and all of us hollered, oh, because he just about knocked the wall down coming off, too.
He was trying to get around the outside of Stanley Smith, and he got way up close to the wall. It's a good thing his car is painted the same color.
Guys, I tell you, we keep talking about knocking the wall down. I'll promise you, there's not a car, or all these cars can hit this wall. It's a boilerplate backed up by the state of Delaware. You're not going to knock it down.
No, but many have tried. Back up front. Just a car length separating 1st and 2nd.
It's kind of like getting in a bad fight after it's over. You say, how bad did the other guy look? When you hit this ball, your car is junk in the old wall. They just put another coat of paint on the thing and let her rip.
Now these two drivers, Presley and Labonte, are running just 1.3 seconds ahead of Bill Elliott's the 3rd place car.
I tell you, these two cars are equally matched. I don't see anybody gaining or anything. These two are right on.
50 laps complete. Let's run you down the top 10 and show you how they stand. Up front, it's Presley, then Labonte, Elliott, Strickland, and Mike Waltrip in 5th. He's won here twice. Spencer, Nemechek, Wallace, Ellis, and Grissom. The top 10. We'll be right back.
The American Society for Testing and Materials set a new technical standard for antifreeze used to protect heavy-duty truck engines against boiling, freeze-ups, and corrosion. Only one of the 3 best-selling antifreeze brands made for cars meets that standard. It's the patented car antifreeze that can also keep heavy-duty engines running at their peak. Protect your engine from freeze-ups and boilovers. Remember the heavy-duty standard. Don't stop short of the peak.
The energy of the Olympic Games. Texaco has captured it on a special videotape. Profiles of Olympic athletes who demonstrated the strength to endure and the energy to go further. This collector's tape is just $4.99 with a fill-up of System 3 gasoline. And it comes with a coupon for a free 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola Classic or Diet Coke. Good on your next visit. Get your videotape today at Texaco.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sports Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think? Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
Hello, darling.
Nice to see you. It's been a long
Country superstar Conway Twitty does one of his biggest hits on stage Tuesday on TNN.
TNN invites you to explore America. Here in Delaware, one of the favorite pastimes is sport fishing off the coast, in the Atlantic, and in the bay. A lot of great fish here. Now there's a prize. A little different than the prize this fella's hoping to win today. Robert Presley trying to make it 2 for 2 and a clean sweep at Dover in 1992. He has Bobby Labonte with him in second, Bill Elliott third, Hut Strickland, Mike Waltrip, Jimmy Spencer, Joe Nemechek, and then Jeff Gordon, who has moved up to 8th spot. Tracy Leslie on pit road.
Neil, look how good that car is handling. It's right on the white line. And Spencer's on the move, too. He's already got by Michael Waltrip, and he's coming up.
Jimmy Spencer in 5th spot. They lap David Donahue. Mike Waltrip right there. And Nemechek.
A little bit of swing he had to take around that lap car right in the middle of the corner. Cost him about 4 positions and then take you about a lap or a lap and a half to get it back. When you get trapped outside, you've got to kind of tiptoe just a little bit, and you lose a little bit of ground.
Joe Nemechek is the tail on this 5-car snake, and I would imagine for somebody trying to protect a slim point lead, that's a good spot to be in.
It's not so bad, too. Plus, he knows that Todd Bodine has had a little bit of a problem. What he's got to be careful of is cash in on Bodine's problem. He knows he can't run the pace. Nemechek certainly doesn't need to make a mistake and let it go the other way, turn around and bite him down.
And he knows that Spencer's softening up the attack here when he goes by him. He's kind of like Dale Earnhardt. He's an intimidator when he gets behind somebody. He fills that mirror up, and he never lets them up.
This battle right here, 6 seconds behind the race leader.
There's a lot of times when you have a driver come up beside you, and you'll see him stick that nose up beside you, maybe get a foot of race car up there. You say, oh, he's the kind of guy that'll back off, and you take advantage of that. When Spencer gets a couple of inches up there, watch his Bill Elliott, he'll heat him plenty of room to the inside. He says, okay, Mr. Spencer, you have it. We'll follow you a while.
Let's have a look at the Napa Field standing update, brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts with where your favorite driver was running at 50 laps in this event.
You know, buddy, it's nice to have that respect through the years, but the problem is it costs you a lot of race cars and bent fenders to get them where they give you that room.
Yeah, but I tell you, Jimmy's got all the earmarks of being something special. And congratulations to he and Junie Donlevy on their deal for next year.
Yeah, Winston Cup Racing, they've got a good deal worked out. They'll be running the full circuit next season. Spencer's got around Elliott, and there's Hut Strickland in front of him. That's his next mark. Shooting at Hut Strickland right now.
And that's 4th place, or rather 3rd place. 2 leaders have kind of scooted away here by about 4 or 5 spots.
I tell you, Dick Moroso puts out one of the better race cars, too. The 20 car. You don't do it all by just the driver. The car's got to be there, too. He got a great race car there.
Let's update you on some of the fellows coming up through the pack. There is Jeff Gordon. Now, he had climbed to 8th spot, but 2 laps ago he was passed by Harry Gant. And Todd Bodine has now moved up into 11th position, so they're coming.
Jeff Gordon, we're watching him come right here. He's been coming up through there, but I'm telling you, he's using up the racetrack. As Buddy mentioned a couple times before, he's been real loose, but this young man knows how to hustle that race car. He runs it sideways, straight, whatever it takes to get to the front.
Back up front with Robert Presley and Bobby Labonte.
Not near the lead we saw earlier, Buddy. A while ago, Presley stretched it out on Labonte. Now he's reeling him back in.
Yeah, they're pretty equal right now. I think Labonte might be just sitting there with them. Well, we'll just wait a little later to put the real charge on.
Back behind them, Hut Strickland. Nearly a straightaway back. And right on Strickland's bumper now, Jimmy Spencer.
You know, you listen to those little V6 motors go by, and you can hear those things just twisted them out of the frame. And we talked at the top of the show how abusive this racetrack and how it tears the motors up. If the people could sit and really hear what that V6 motor is doing around this racetrack, they're twice as loud as the V8s when they go out to practice. They punish these little bitty motors to go fast.
Let's listen to Ricky Craven's car and try to get an idea of that as we watch from the roof cam.
You know, of all the cameras that you have, that roof cam looks more like what it looks like to the driver than any camera in the car. That thing, I mean, that's, folks, what you see is what you get there. That's what it looks like.
Here's what you get. You see Spencer moving him. There's Gant. He's been coming up through the field. I just said he went around Jeff Gordon. He's moving in on Bill Elliott now.
Harry Gant is now the 7th place car. 6th place car, excuse me.
Well, I was mentioning Bill Elliott. I could already see the 30 was counting coming down that back straightaway.
I was right for about half a second that time.
Now, the difference in the two, Harry will make he'll pass him in a place on the racetrack where he's not quite as hung out as Spencer, but they both get the job done. They just do it in different ways.
Speaking of passing, here comes Gant. Gant had to look to the inside. I think he had the number on Elliott, but the lap car got in the way.
So at 69 laps complete, Robert Presley continues to lead over Bobby Labonte. Hut Strickland in 3rd. Jimmy Spencer in 4th, and Bill Elliott, the 5th place car. Harry Gant, Mike Waltrip, Joe Nemechek, Jeff Gordon, and Kenny Wallace, the top 10. We're a third of the way. We'll be right back.
All day,
Oh, just watch me walk away.
all night.
No one else on earth could ever hurt me.
CMT, Country Music Television. All right.
Yes, it's a beautiful country we live in. And as TNN explores America all this year, we've got just what you need to really get around and see the sights. We're giving away, that's right, giving away a grand prize including a brand new Winnebago Brave worth $90,000, a 1992 Dodge truck, retail value $19,000, and 500 gallons of gasoline to get you around. And that's just the grand prize. First prize, a 10-day trip for 2 to beautiful Hawaii, plus $1,500 spending money. And 500 seconds at your favorite retail location for a shopping spree of up to $20,000. To enter, call 1-900-370-4866. You can enter as often as you like. Each call costs 95 cents per minute. Or send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to this address. Or you can pick up an entry form at your local Winnebago dealer. And wait, there's more. 10 cruises for 2 around Alaska, including airfare and spending money. With all these great prizes to win, you better get your entries in soon for the TNN Explores America Sweepstakes.
72 laps complete here at Dover. Harry Gant has drawn a bead on the man who's been passing everybody on the racetrack, Jimmy Spencer. 4th place at stake here.
You know, Harry Gant's kind of like a motor. You kind of got to break him in right at the first, and once he gets everything broke in, watch this guy drive his race car. It's incredible how he drives. He just gets stronger and stronger as the race goes on.
And again, I think the key is where he picks his places to pass, as you said.
Yeah, and I think one thing that happens, we always joke about him coming on later. A lot of the guys, when they drop the green flag, they race just as hard as that car run. They burn the tires off the car. Gant sits there and runs the same pace when they drop the green flag, and when they drop the checker, he's running the same speed. He doesn't fall off. He never loses. A lot of the times, if you'll clock him, he's running the same speed. The other guys are slowing down, going past him in the opposite direction. Gant keeps the race car under him all day long.
Well, you know, it's just like right now. He's fixing to take over second spot. And this guy is he's strong. I mean, there ain't no other way to say it. He's strong all the way around the racetrack. A good car, but Harry Gann himself is just tremendous on the track when it starts getting a little loose on him. Watch him here.
9 seconds behind the leaders. Here's Gant going for third against Hut Strickland.
Coming off two, I saw it looked like a big piece of rubber flew up off the track coming off two over there. Might have been off another car, but some kind of debris flew up as they came off that corner. Cancer.
7th place here, Mike Waltrip, two-time winner here. Joe Nemechek, the point leader. 7th and 8th place. We'll mention that Todd Bodine is 11th, 3 spots behind Nemechek. Between them, Jeff Gordon and Kenny Wallace.
When you mentioned Jeff Gordon, he's came a long way since they dropped that green flag on that mass restart. He's gaining those guys right here.
There's Gordon.
Remember, he started last. He had to come in because of cut left rear tire. He was leading the race before. He's running the fastest laps on the racetrack right now.
Gordon led the first 35 laps. Since then, it's been Presley. Waltrip and Joe Nemechek going at it. One point we haven't made at the front of this field. Despite the number of Winston Cup drivers in this race, at the front of the field are 2 Busch Grand National drivers. And a couple of Cuppers.
You know, Scottsburg, that gives you a good indication of what we have when we come Busch racing now. We used to break it up, Winston Cup, Busch, because you want to emphasize the Winston Cup drivers in there. Nowadays, the Busch guys can hold their own. Sometimes we don't even mention the Winston Cup guys because the Busch guys are running away with the show.
Hard to think of Winston Cup stars as field fillers. 4th place battle here. A couple of Cuppers, Hut Strickland and Jimmy Spencer, battling for 4th spot. And there's Tracy Leslie against the wall in turn 2. That'll bring out the 3rd caution of the day.
Wow.
Lap number 81. 2nd caution involving Leslie. Up in turn 2.
Don't see any damage on the car. If he got into the wall, it might be a similar problem what he had earlier.
I think that's the deal. I think they're just tearing these tires up and he's throwing the tire parts. See the rubber right there? I see the rubber come up on the inside of the car. He'll probably come in and get him some more tires and go back out and do the same thing again.
Let's have another look at Tracy Leslie's car from up on the wall in turn 2.
See if we can pick him up coming down in here. There he goes. He went down the corner. Back in, came around on the car. Charged completely around.
Not too good. I didn't see all that.
Oh, man, we just saw him going straight. Everybody's going to say, what a great job of driving. What a great job of driving. Or hanging on one. I'm not sure which.
Caution out. Leslie continues.
I guarantee he might have some flat tires, but he's the happiest guy in the house right now. He's a one piece.
So Tracy Leslie will come to pit road. Robert Presley, the leader. Bobby Labonte, and then Harry Gann, who was closing in by 1 second a lap when we were under green. Hut Strickland and Jimmy Spencer. The rest of the top 10 as we go to break. We'll be right back.
Well, I drive a race car for a living. I depend on the parts and pieces in my car. And I feel so confident knowing that Pennzoil is protecting the moving parts inside of my engine. Pennzoil's quality and protection give me the confidence I need to do my job without second thought. The protection that Pennzoil offers this race team makes us feel great. That's why I have the confidence to use it on the street and in my race car. I recommend Pennzoil to everybody. Pennzoil, performance, protection, quality.
Just because you go all out, you gotta stink. Not if you're wearing this. And here comes your chance to prove it. And you will, because Old Spice works. Man, does it work. Spice wetness kills bacteria. The proof?
Hey, hotshot.
You're looking at her.
Old Spice antiperspirant for great odor protection. You demand proof, not promises.
Everyone has a reason for reading National Speed Sport News.
He keeps me in touch with worldwide racing news.
I always find out what's happening at CART.
This is where I catch up on my drag racing news. I read Speed Sport News to get the facts.
I catch up on all the racing gossip in Speed Sport News.
But whatever your reason, National Speed Sport News provides the fastest, most reliable, and objective source of racing news available. Call today and your first issue will be mailed within 2 weeks.
What's bright red, featherlight, and comes with an extra long cord? Guess again, it's the Dirt Devil Hand Vac. That powerful revolving brush cleans it all, from pet hair and dirt to stairs, cars, and little messes. So get the Dirt Devil Hand Vac and lighten up.
TNN's exclusive coverage of the SplitFire Sparkplug 200 is being brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts. A look at the race leader, Robert Presley, after a round of pit stops here under the caution flag from Tracy Leslie. Let's go to Steve Evans.
Well, I'm with Presley's crew chief, Ricky Pearson. That was a great stop. You got tires on the right side, lots of fuel, and it appears you could go the distance if it stayed green, right?
Yeah, we don't have any problem with fuel now, you know, and Goodyear's got a good tire here, so hopefully we'll keep running like we're running and hold on this thing.
What is Robert saying? Anything at all?
Well, Robert doesn't feel too good. He's got an upset stomach, you know, and we even talked about a release driver before the thing started, but you know, the better he runs, maybe the better he feels, so hopefully he'll stay in the car.
Great job.
Thank you.
And you know, guys, I've seen many athletes, including race drivers, have their best day when they don't feel very well. They almost perform better to take their mind off it.
Mind over matter. Yeah.
If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
Well, if he drives any better than he does every week, I don't want to be here to see it.
Hate to see him when he's healthy, right?
You're right.
Robert Presley, up front, a man who, as Neil said earlier, turned down a couple of opportunities to perhaps go Winston Cup racing next year by saying he just wasn't ready. He was going to spend at least another year here in the Busch Series before he might make that jump. Let's go to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, they're busy, Don. They're busy cleaning up after the pit stop that Bobby made. He did change right side tires. They can only change 2 per caution. A little bit of concern, there is some oil. You can't see it now. They've turned the tires over. A little bit of oil or grease that was on the inside of one of those right side tires, so they're checking that out. They did make a wedge adjustment on the car. The car seemed to be a little loose. Bobby was trying different grooves, but got it back together now. One quick thing about those tires. Those guys that were having the problems with Hoosier tires, they cannot change brands of tires. If they have to do that, they got to park the car. Mike?
And it appears that's just what Tracy Leslie has done. Now trouble on Ricky Craven's machine. Rather, not trouble, but he's being held at the start-finish line by NASCAR. Put him in his proper position in this race. The hood was also up on the Detroit gasket car of Tracy Leslie, and now it's going back down, but that car sits in the pit lane after bringing out 2 cautions here. Ricky Craven, 7th at Rougemont, nearly had his first Busch Grand National win on TNN down at Barberville, Florida. Had the lead there, and like many drivers on that slippery surface, slipped and slid out of the lead. Craven, the Busch North champion 1 year ago, took a lap on the caution flag there, got a lap ahead of the field, so NASCAR is making him give it back and put him back in line. Light is out on the safety car. 1 more lap will go racing.
You know, with as much commotion, as much things that happen at one time on the caution flag, well, a lot of times you think you'll get in and get out and beat the pace car, and it's happened before that somebody get a lap back, but NASCAR has people watching it now. If you take a lap back, they'll usually take that one, and sometimes if it's on purpose, they'll take another one. They'll take 2 back away from you, so they must have thought it was just an accident that he got out of the head of the pace car.
So he goes to the tail of the field. Stanley Smith comes down pit row as we have 1 to go.
Mike, you ever notice the little picture they show of the driver when they're holding them a lap? It's a picture that they made when the guy was really happy about things. He's sitting down there crying, and you show a picture of the guy grinning because they're holding him a lap.
You mean we need 2 different headshots?
Yeah, you need one frowning, too.
That's when you don't need the in-car camera aimed at the driver.
Hope he's not hand signaling the officials or anybody.
Well, it was 1 to go.
And Craven is a lap down. He'll go in line 3rd in the outside lane there. Back behind Bobby Dotter and Jeff Burton, who is driving Davey Allison's car today after crashing his own during qualifying. We should also mention Morgan Shepherd had a bad crash here in practice. He spun off the front bumper of Jeff Burton's car, and his car ended up in the wall and went home. Green flag at lap 86. Cars on the lead lap in the inside lane here at Dover. Presley, Labonte, and Strickland.
Key right here might be that Labonte did make chassis adjustments. I think Presley's car, he was pleased with it. But Labonte was able to stay right with him. He couldn't do anything else. He made some adjustments on his car. Let's see if he's made any better where he now can race Presley for the lead.
This also brought the top 4 cars close together. We're going to see some real racing going on here now.
One change in the top 4. Jimmy Spencer up to 3rd.
Spencer got a great run off the middle of that corner. They stick a nose up under Labonte going in the corner, and he has to give him that position.
He's in a hurry. Spencer comes to 2nd. Wow. And while Labonte got kicked up out of the groove, Hut Strickland got 3rd, and here comes Harry.
Yeah, when you get out of that groove, he was in 2nd. He moved back to 5th in middle of one corner. Now Spencer's going to see if he can get up there and nip at that lead a little bit.
Now Spencer's real strong on fresh tires, but as they go along, you'll see Gant's car getting better and better and better. He sets his car up for a long run, and Spencer's car seems to be a little better on fresh tires.
Good point. Jimmy Spencer.
Now there's an accurate photograph. See, he's smiling. He's happy. He's already up in front now. That boy loves to run in the front of the race.
Don't show the other one.
Oh, boy, Spencer headed sideways. But Strickland got right behind him off that corner, but he really loosened him up, and Spencer couldn't do anything but get out of the gas.
Now he knows what Bodine felt the first part of this race.
Yeah, lap 6. That's what Spencer did to Todd Bodine. Took the air off Bodine's spoiler. And Todd went around. Harry Gant and Bobby Labonte has now gathered it back up, and he's now a tight 5th, right behind Gant's number 7.
I think Bobby Labonte has as fast a race car as anybody that's ahead of him there. He's just taking his time. He's running very well.
Now right behind that front 5 come Bill Elliott, Joe Nemechek, and Jeff Gordon in hot pursuit. This is the battle for 2nd.
Neil, that's one of your guys in 2nd there. That's part of the Alabama gang.
Yeah, that's Hut Strickland. He moved around Spencer just a while ago. The little Busch car, he ran good up in New Hampshire. A lot of the racetracks, he's been real strong. Just had a little bit of problem finishing the front of the race.
Among the point leaders, Nemechek, we mentioned, is 7th. Todd Bodine is back at 18th. Last car on the lead lap. Last time by.
We're talking about Strickland running there 2nd. That's his first start he's ever had here at Dover in a Busch car. Looks like they've got the thing working pretty good for him.
Looks like he likes it. Gant's car got a little wiggly and darty out there coming out of 2.
This is what I really like about Busch Grand National racing. Real good competition all the whole time the race goes on, you know?
Tight pack of cars. And here just behind that lead pack, 6th and 7th spot, Elliott and Nemechek.
I would think Nemechek would almost have to be content to hold a good position and try to make a run right at the end of the race.
There's your lead pack. Robert Presley up front. There's the front 5. Let's run them down. Presley, Strickland, Spencer, Gant, and Labonte, the first 5. There's the rest of your top 10. We'll be right back.
Cold filtered. Miller Genuine Draft. For those who've discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a new synthetic oil. The rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec's unique molecular structure bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oil. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
Iron Mike on rust.
I hate rust.
Iron Mike on tough.
This is tough. Rust tough. This is rust. Oleum?
The dictionary defines tough as strong.
Not easily influenced. Like me.
The definition of oleum is... We sprayed this rusty metal plate with fast-drying rust tough, exposed the rusted metal, then placed it in the torture salt fog chamber.
The rust didn't spread. It stayed tough. You want tough? What do you want? Oleum. Got rust? Get tough. Rust tough.
I'm a big man.
Why do so many men stick with Bic?
I'm a big man.
Because there's a Bic for every beard. Bic Regular, a great shave at a great price.
I'm a big man.
Bic Sensitive, Bic Babies, tender skin. Bic Metal, slim head, total control.
Yeah, I'm a big man.
I'm a big man.
Regular, sensitive, metal.
I'm a big man.
As TNN explores America along with sport fishing, crabbing is a popular activity here and a way many Delawareans make their living. Out there in the Delaware Bay, go out crabbing, you might meet up with our producer, John Mullen, old Crabby himself. TNN explores America. Halfway next time by, 100 laps. Robert Presley in front, but look at that snarling pack of crabs he's got behind him.
Yeah, just as we went to break a while ago, Spencer moved right back around Hud Strickland and got up here in second place, and he's trying to move up on the leader there. He's gaining just a little bit each lap.
Well, Mike, I know you've seen Spencer many a time on a racetrack. When he gets in second place, there's nowhere he wants to be but first.
Front five. Tied pretty tightly together here.
There's Gant. Looks like Gant's car's maybe tightened up on him a little bit or something. He was up there, and their car's moving out a little bit in the middle of the corner. Gant's the kind of guy, he'll settle back down, let the car come to him, and then he'll try to come back to the front. But he dropped back just at least a little bit here in the last few laps.
Well, you know that old cartoon where the two vultures are sitting on the tree, and one of them says, "Patience, heck, I'm going to go out and get something." That's Jimmy Spencer. That's Jimmy Spencer.
The only thing that I notice about Spencer is when Hud gets right up under him, he gets a little bit loose, and Robert's able to pull away just a little bit on him. Have you noticed that, Neil?
Yep. And there was right there, the 59 car saw that lap car and lifted just a little bit. Look how much Spencer ran up on him right there. It's like you're talking about Hud's really giving Spencer a little bit of a problem as they get up off the corner.
Look back at 12th place, Steve Grissom and Chuck Bound. Grissom trying to hang on to 10th in the points. Chuck a little further back. In 12th and 13th positions here. Grissom and Bound.
These are two guys that were such a force last year in the Busch Grand National Series. Both of these guys winning multiple races. Chuck Bound winning a championship, and they just haven't been able to get their stuff on track. And here both of them are back in 12th, 13th place, just racing their heart out.
Just ahead of them, Mike Wallace in the number 9 car, the Barry Owen machine. There goes Bound, makes the pass on Grissom, and moves up a notch. 12th place. 96 laps to go on the Monster Mile, and here's that pack up front once again. Nothing's changed.
No, it looks like Robert Presley looks in the mirror and says, well, I need to get a little more lead, and he just jumps right out and takes off.
Yeah, that's what kind of, when you're driving the car is chasing, that's what kind of breaks your spirit. You say, well, I think I'm gaining, or I think I'm gaining, and you run yourself to death, and you close in, and all of a sudden he just gaps you about 5 car lengths. Handwriting's on the wall pretty good. The guy just sitting there riding, beating the throttle, taking care of his car, and just maintaining that lead.
Now they're putting a lap on the number 8 car. If your eyes are playing tricks on you, that is Davey Allison's car, but it only carries number 8. Jeff Burton is in it after a qualifying crash here. Davey electing to sit this one out and concentrate on the Winston Cup race this weekend. First to second, Presley and Jimmy Spencer. Richard Lassiter back in the race down there on the inside. And David Donahue falling another lap down to the race leader. There are 18 cars on the lead lap, the last of those Tom Peck. Here's Chuck Bound coming up to put the move on Mike Wallace. Chuck Bound hasn't had a great season this year. As we go to break, we asked him to describe it.
It's been awful. Thankfully, we've had outside pole 4 times and finished second in 2 races, but boy, we could use a win real bad. It's been a tough season.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away.
The Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car is back in town. So you better hold on.
Spread the word around. Guess who
at age 74 and the oldest Ironman triathlete.
Jim Ward has a hobby. It's called staying young.
It's a workout.
That's why he uses Armor All protectant on his dash, seats, and especially his tires. Rubber can age and crack, but Armor All penetrates to keep his tires looking like new. Jim says his tires never seem to get old. People say the same thing about Jim.
I like a good-looking car. It makes me feel good.
There is a fountain of youth, and we own the patent. Armor All.
I gotta run.
You promised me something really special for my birthday. A whole weekend in the great outdoors. Without me.
Here's to the great outdoors, men who understand, and comfortable blue jeans. Wrangler.
Last year, Davey Allison added something new to his car. It wasn't wider tires or a slicker shape. It was the same Haviland Formula 3 motor oil you can buy, straight off the shelf, to add more life to your car with complete protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Now, we're not saying it was Haviland Formula 3 that gave Davey the energy to lead more major NASCAR races than anyone last year and win this year's Daytona 500. But we're not saying it wasn't.
TNN Motorsports coverage of the SplitFire Sparkplug 200 is brought to you by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. 86 laps to go. Look at the nose on Hut Strickland's car at the left front corner, buddy.
Yeah, Butch Miller had a problem with the tire, I think, and really got out of the accelerator, and Hut had nothing to do, but he center punched him right in the back end, and I tell you, he's lucky he didn't tear the whole nose off the car.
Didn't bend it up much, and Strickland able to continue in 5th spot now with Joe Nemechek right on his bumper. 5th and 6th place.
He lost a lot of valuable space, though. He was right up there challenging for the lead, and that took him way back in the crowd.
Miller really scattered the field and went back to the pits for tires, and now he's back on the racetrack. But look at Chuck Bound, the 1990 champ, who hasn't had a great season. Steve Evans visited with crew chief Jeff Hensley yesterday and got an amusing comment about how tough the year's been. Steve?
You know, Jeff Hensley, when informed that only the top 10 teams at the end of the year were invited to the season in banquet, which is always a lot of fun, and they're nowhere near the top 10, he just kind of looked at me and said, "Ah, hell, we'll just crash it. We've crashed everything else this year." One thing that's still intact is the sense of humor and morale on this 53 team.
You got to believe better days are coming. Yeah, they might as well crash the banquet.
You might as well laugh about it in racing.
I'm not even going to tell you Chuck's having a good run here today, because as soon as I do that, something will happen, and let's hope not. 11th spot right now. But Chuck is running. And up there, still on the lead lap, as are 18 cars back to Tom Peck in the 18th spot. Here's that 5th place battle once again. Hut Strickland and Joe Nemechek. They're all chasing Robert Presley still, with Jimmy Spencer in 2nd, Harry Gant 3rd, and Bobby Labonte 4th. This is the battle for 5th. Hermie Sadler moves over to the low lane.
Buddy, you were talking about that damage. We can see it on the front of that car. People say, well, that's not really that bad. But when these cars go through inspection, the aerodynamics are used so much of downforce on where these cars drive, they'll argue over 1/8 of an inch going through inspection, cutting, snipping, and trimming. And when you roll it back like that, it's really affected the performance of this car.
The other thing, when you punch somebody straight in the back like that, you wonder how the damage is, because you know you can't see the real thing out there, and you don't know whether you might have a piece of metal fixing to fly up under a tire or not, but the car is in good shape.
And that's got to be a real hold-your-breath lap or two to find out. After something like that happens, to go around and say, is this thing all right?
Yeah, the crew, they look out there as you come by pit, say, oh, that thing looks good. It wasn't in there when it got hit like a freight truck.
Right. 120 laps go on the board.
It takes just a little while to get that confidence back.
Got to report that Jeff Gordon's car has loosened up considerably. Now, Bill Elliott in the 11 is 6th in the Budweiser car. The Baby Ruth Ford is 7th. But he's radioed that it's been running loose on him.
Something had to happen, because before this last caution, he was to put this car on the track. Even though he wasn't up in the picture, he came from dead last back up in the front, and he just hasn't been able to close in like he was doing earlier. There you go. You see it right there.
I'm telling you, that car is really loose. You see the back duck out just in the middle of the corner. That's not a very pleasant feeling.
He's earning his money right now. He's having to drive. He's not riding. He's having to hustle it around with the rear end trying to jump out from under him. And that's easy for it to do on this racetrack. See the rear slide out? You lay on that banking in that corner, and it makes the car feel pretty secure. And then when you come off the banking, even though the straightaways bank some, you lose that big degree, and the back end wants to hop out from under the car. I don't believe Bill Elliott believes he's too loose. He's working on Bill pretty tough right now.
7th and 8th place behind Joe Nemechek, the 6th place car, and Hut Strickland up in 5th.
That's the nice part of being 21. That's not quite as loose as it is when I have one like that.
Yeah, 21, you don't know how bad it can bite you yet when it gets that loose. I tell you what, he's driven all types of cars. And some of the stuff he's driven before with the sideways racing, I tell you that, you probably have to have it real loose to scare this kid.
He got in sprint cars at 14. Everybody says at 21 he's got such a great future ahead of him. Heck, he's had a great career.
You're right.
Already.
He's done a lot of things a lot of drivers run their entire life and not accomplish. But, boy, you talk about a bright future to come into this sport and be able to step up into a first-class Winston Cup car as quickly as he has. He's got a great future ahead of him.
Well, I can't imagine being 21 years old driving for Rick Hendricks. I mean, what else did a kid ask for?
Corvette every week. You know, to go to the beach.
How about this fellow, Robert Presley, right up there in the front of the pack. Ricky Pearson, the head wrench on that car. They've had a great season. 3rd in points, 2nd in money won, and looking for win number 5 today. Here's how they're running with 75 laps to go. Presley the leader, Jimmy Spencer, Harry Gant, Bobby Lapati, and Hut Strickland. And behind them, Nemechek, Elliott, and the rest of the top 10. We'll be right back.
I told you once, you son of a gun, I'm the fastest ever been. You play it.
Rockin' renegade Charlie Daniels sings on the Statler Brothers Show. Tonight at 9, 8 Central on TNN.
Yes, it's a beautiful country we live in. And as TNN explores America all this year, we've got just what you need to really get around and see the sights. We're giving away, that's right, giving away a grand prize including a brand new Winnebago Brave worth $90,000, a 1992 Dodge truck, retail value $19,000, and 500 gallons of gasoline to get you around, and that's just the grand prize. First prize, a 10-day trip for 2 to beautiful Hawaii, plus $1,500 spending money. And 500 seconds at your favorite retail location for a shopping spree of up to $20,000. To enter, call 1-900-370-4866. You can enter as often as you like. Each call costs 95 cents per minute. Or send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to this address. Or you can pick up an entry form at your local Winnebago dealer. And wait, there's more. 10 cruises for 2 around Alaska, including airfare and spending money. With all these great prizes to win, you better get your entries in soon for the TNN Explores America Sweepstakes.
Welcome back to Dover Downs, TNN's presentation of the SplitFire 200 by Track Auto. Harry Gant has just taken 2nd spot away from Jimmy Spencer and is closing in on Robert Presley, race leader. That's Ward Burton going a lap down. First to Presley and now to Harry Gant.
You know, a while ago you said something very important most people don't catch. Harry Gant was dropping back just a little bit. The car was really tight. Now that the tires are getting hot, the racetrack's getting hot with it, here comes Harry Gant. That's favorable for a car that's a little tight on the nose. So these guys are loosening up, and he's getting just right now.
And as you said, he'll be running the same speed, passing them going in the other direction.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Getting the second one, that much trouble. But I tell you, getting by Robert Presley, that's another story.
I think he got so much stronger while going. That caution came out, and then it probably hurt him. We always hear people saying, boy, the longer it runs green, the better it helps me. I believe that's Gant's case every week. Everywhere we go, the longer they run, the better he gets.
And it seems he has his Winston Cup car set the same way. We saw here earlier at Dover. Now Spencer, though, he's being Gant's shadow down the straightaway and into turn 1 there, keeping close tabs on the 2nd place car and not out of contention, not one little bit. 13 cars now on the lead lap after this long string of green. We've been green since lap 86. That was nearly 50 laps ago. Presley the leader, Gant in second, Spencer third, Labonte fourth, Strickland is fifth. In sixth is Nemechek. Seventh is Bill Elliott, just overtaken by Kenny Wallace, the battle you're watching now. Wallace now seventh, Elliott eighth, and Jeff Gordon ninth. Then Mike Waltrip is 10th. Chuck Bound, Todd Bodine, and Mike Wallace are also on the lead lap. Tommy Houston and Ward Burton on one lap down. That takes you back to the 15th spot. Let's have a look at a Napa field standing update. Brought to you by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts. How they were running at 125 laps. Kenny Wallace may be another one of those drivers whose car works better the longer you run. He had been back in the field after that last round of pit stops, and now he's come up to pass both Gordon and Elliott. Jeff Hammond wrenching that car. They go Winston Cup racing next year for Felix Sabates, but decided not to run any Winston Cup races this season, just to concentrate fully on the Busch Series and on getting used to one another, getting things going. They've got a couple of Winston Cup cars built, sending another one out to hang sheet metal on it Monday. And he said, day after Hickory, he says, I'll go test all you want. He said, but right now, we're going to run this series and see how well we can do the rest of the year.
When I talked to Kenny about that, Mike, and he's pretty level-headed, he says, you know, there's a lot of difference in the cars. The weight, the power ratio, the tight motors, the way they accelerate. He said, when I get out of a Busch car and jump in a Winston Cup car and get back in a Busch, there's a total different feel. And he's not wanting to make that transition. He's wanting to concentrate on this right here. And when he does make the move, make it totally to Winston Cup. When you get from a car with a V6 and a V8, there's a lot of different throttle response. And also, he's really being smart by concentrating on the series right here.
Right behind Kenny, Bill Elliott. Fourth here in June, as at Michigan.
A lot of difference, Mike, when you step on 400 horsepower and you step on 700. And that's the big difference we have.
And again, about Kenny Wallace, when he gets out of that Busch car, he's not getting back in. They're going to auction everything off.
I tell you what, old Gant reminds me of that old timer that went by when they was building the first locomotive. He went by and they said, it'll never run, it'll never run. He come by every day, he says, you'll never get it running. They cranked it up one day and the locomotive pulled off and says, you'll never stop it. And I believe Gant's that way. He just keeps rolling and you can't hardly stop him when it gets going.
Robert Presley, like Harry Gant, took a lot of years to become an overnight sensation.
But like Trickle, they asked him how he won Rookie of the Year. He said, well, I just kept plugging away for 25 years and I won it.
Little lap traffic here. Troy Beebe down the inside now, and the Sadler car. Gant goes up and around, but has to freeze the car just a bit to do so.
Thought it might possibly hold Presley up a little bit, but the traffic ended up catching both drivers. Came out with about the same distance between them.
Let's mention that Todd Bodine has now gone a lap down. He is the 12th place car. Nemechek in 6th. That's about a 23-point difference to Joe Nemechek if the race were to end right now.
I'll tell you what, Mike, if he had a little bit of an upset stomach before this thing started, when he looks in the mirror now, this is not helping it any, I promise you. I jokingly say that because I think people like Robert Presley and the good quality race car drivers thrive off of the competition. When they see somebody coming, they're getting ready to race. But Gant's fixing to put him to the test.
I guarantee you, he's fixing to find out how much he likes it.
Yeah, you can't make a pit stop for Tums right here. Maybe Harry will hand him some as he goes by. If he goes by. A lot of racing left here at Dover. And both drivers, we understand, can go the distance after that stop for the third caution of the day that came out at lap 82. Let's go back to 8th place for a moment, where Bill Elliott and Jeff Gordon continue to circulate nose to tail. Now let's go back up front. Well, now Harry's caught him. What do you do with him?
Well, his strong suit seems to be right here, getting down in the corner, and that's characteristic of a good tight race car. He's able to drive real deep down in the corner. He can get down on him in the corner, but that thing of Preston's is no slouch up off the corner, but he's already make a run.
That's what I think. From the center of the corner out, he seems to have Harry just a little bit, but going in the corner, Harry closes right down on him. Now we're going to find out, though, if he had anything. You know, catching a guy and passing is a whole different story.
This is another area where Presley reminds me of Earnhardt, because he runs the guts out of the car, runs it hard.
Look at Chuck Bound. He's already moved up in the 10th, or trying to get up in the 10th right here. He's running much better now.
Mike Waltrip has the tough spot, 10th spot, and Chuck Bound wants it there.
Okay, for Chuck Bound, this will be like a win. Keep picking these guys off, going to the front, the problems he's had all year long.
55 laps to go. Moving in on Bobby Dotter's car, who's already gone a lap down. There's 64 of Dotter. And there's Chuck Bound making the move to the inside and moving up into the top 10.
One reason these two guys here are hustling so hard, right behind them, the leaders aren't about 20 car lengths. We see as they come off corner, that's Presley in the black car, right behind the 30. They're not only trying for position, they're trying to fight not go a lap down.
Presley and Gant once again.
Boy, buddy, it looks like when he put some heat on him, Presley was able to pull it out.
Yeah, that's what I was watching. I said catching him one thing, passing him another. I tell you, this guy, they had a great run in Darlington, you know, on the last lap against Perry, and Presley won there. So catching him and passing him, I think, is going to be a little harder.
Maybe Gant's in that cool-down mode that he gets into every now and then. He'll make a squirt of somebody run up there, and then you'll almost say, well, he's gone. And the next time he makes that run, he's able to pull it off. He might be trying to cool things down. Right here he's trying to, Presley's trying to put a lap on Mike Waltrip, and that might hold him up just enough for Gant to get right back in it.
There you saw Gant breathe the car a bit, perhaps because he saw Presley coming up on Mike Waltrip and knew that Presley'd have to deal with it.
Now there's a good example. The car of Michael Waltrip's running just as fast down the straightaways, but look at those guys go right by him in the corners. So he's not handling quite as well. Michael's not as the two leaders. That's where he's losing the race, not down the straightaway.
Good point. Ricky Craven gave some room down to the inside, let the leaders go through. And Butch Miller has had a tough day with tires, he and Tracy Leslie both today. And as we go to break, we asked Butch Miller, what's a realistic finish for him this season?
Well, I think giving up on the #1 spot, yes. But, you know, the 7th spot is in sight. We were in 7th a week or two ago, and I believe we can get back there.
Costly engine wear occurs when you first start your car because even the best motor oils and additives are down in the oil pan. Slick 50 protects your engine at startup. It treats the engine, not the oil. Independent lab tests showed Slick 50 reduced engine wear by 50% for 50,000 miles. Since 1978, over 15 million people worldwide have used Slick 50. Starting your engine without it is a terrible thing to do.
What's bright red, featherlight, and comes with an extra long cord? Guess again, it's the Dirt Devil Hand Vac. That powerful revolving brush cleans it all, from pet hair and dirt to stairs, cars, and little messes. So get the Dirt Devil Hand Vac and lighten up.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think? Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
SplitFire earned a United States patent. It gets more out of every ounce of gasoline. Less efficient plugs waste gas. The patented SplitFire saves gas.
4 extra miles per gallon. A 4.8% gain in mileage. More complete combustion.
Stop wasting. Start saving with SplitFire. You'll get more mileage and more power or your money back. Get guaranteed SplitFire savings at leading automotive stores from coast to coast.
TNN's exclusive live coverage of the SplitFire Spark Plug 200 by Track Auto is being brought to you by SplitFire Spark Plug. More power, more mileage, or your money back. A couple of good luck signs for Harry Gant on the back of the toolbox down up pit road there as Ward Burton makes a pit stop. And the sun pops out for the first time in this 200-lap race here with 45 to go.
Buddy, if they've ever been to a place that a racetrack changes when the sun comes out, they're sitting in the middle of it right here. This place changes drastically when the sun comes out from clouds.
This will be like trying to drive down a snake's back now when it really gets hot out there. It's pretty rough.
There they go, right up there. Jeff Gordon, they lapped Jeff Gordon, and there's Gant on the inside, Presley.
What a move by Harry Gant. As Presley took a second to decide to go outside or inside of Jeff Gordon, Gant was there and has the lead.
Wow.
What a move.
They'll never stop it. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Put the heat on him, coming right back up. Deal like that, just don't give up the lead. Presley's going to fight him for it. He's not going to let him just have it.
Next car ahead, Bill Elliott. So lead change. Only the third driver to lead today, Harry Gant. Wow. Presley right there.
Boy, look at Gant's car jump on the inside, go right under Bill Elliott. But look at Presley come up there right under him.
And it wasn't even a miscue on Robert's part. He just took a half a second there to decide which way to go. Harry decided, and he went.
Well, I want to see what happens a few laps on, you know, where they don't run through traffic. It's going to be interesting.
42 to go. Presley had led for 122 consecutive laps as they move around Tommy Ellis.
But he answered my question. He can pass him.
Yes.
And it looks like he is moving away.
Yeah, Presley got caught on that lap car, and that one little bit of hesitation cost him 5 or 6 car lengths.
Say hello to one of Robert's crewmen, Ray Cooper of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Had a heart attack a couple of weeks ago. We didn't have a relapse watching that move right there, but I want to wish him well. Also, NASCAR's T-score Morris Metcalf comes home from surgery tomorrow, and Winston Cup director Dick Beatty came home from the crash house a couple of days ago. They're both doing fine. Want to wish them well and speedy recovery and come back to the circuit. Bobby Labonte gets a piece of Jimmy Spencer.
It looked like Spencer got loose when he got behind him, buddy.
Yeah,
He lifted just a second. Labonte rammed him in the rear there. It was almost like Spencer broke loose, just hesitated a minute and he hit him.
Yeah, he kind of turned that quarter panel out a little bit. That won't help down the straightaway.
It's like a parachute sticking out there on the side of that thing.
Not an intentional bump, but as you say, when Spencer got a little bit loose, it just took enough momentum off him that suddenly Labonte was right there and into him before he could turn away. Let's have another look at it here.
Okay, we're coming through. Okay, they were very... Whoa, he got a piece of it.
Yeah, I thought he had some momentum coming there and just got the car loose, but what got it loose is when you hit him with that red stuff, something's going to move. Just had a big run on him and maybe rolled up on him a little bit too fast. He nailed Spencer and shoved him out of the line.
Well, now, Bobby Labonte's fourth in the points. He's only 3 points behind Robert Presley, so every position is very important at the end of the season to Labonte as well.
I can tell you this, if I ever did run into Spencer, I'd want him to have that parachute back there.
You don't want him to catch you again. That's one thing I liked about racing at Dover, buddy. 500 miles up here. If you beat on somebody, by the time the race was over, they were so worn out they couldn't whip you anyway. They were able to crawl out of that car. There wasn't much of a threat.
The two guys at the top of the point parade right now, Joe Nemechek is 6th, and Todd Bodine is 12th. We'll give you the point implications for that in a moment. Harry Gant at the front of the field, third driver to lead today. 37 laps to go.
Gant is saying no cautions, please. He doesn't need anything like that.
The longer that car runs, the better it gets. Ricky Craven will be Rookie of the Year, apparently, but we asked him if he hadn't been disappointed. He hasn't sat on, say, more poles in the series this year.
Yeah, there's some disappointment in my season, but there's also a lot, of optimism from the progress we've gained, and DuPont Chevrolet, their continued support of Ricky Craven and his team, and we're doing a lot of things right. Unfortunately, we're not finishing the job, so it doesn't show up at the end of the day.
He's waiting about a car length and a half behind Al Jr. Al Jr. now lengthens it out. He's trying to hold him off. Goodyear low, Denver high. They go to 4, Bob Lanning. Alistair Jr. has the lead. One more turn to go. Here they come. Coming to the finish line. Bob Jenkins, who's going to win it? The checkered flag is out. Goodyear makes a move. Little Al wins by just a few tenths of a second. Perhaps the closest finish in the history of the Indianapolis 500.
You about finished? How's it going? Great. We have a lot of good mechanics that shop at AutoZone. Well, you also have a lot of people who just want to save some money by doing a simple job themselves, like changing their oil or putting in new plugs. They just want to come in, get what they need, and get out. Well, at AutoZone, we have parts for just about every car made. So if you know what you want, great. But if you're not quite sure about something, no problem. We'll help. After all, that's what we're here for.
Come on, sweetheart.
Your first big snow, Joey. Here he comes.
Joey doesn't care that inside is the world's most energy-efficient furnace.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Or that Carrier can save up to 40% annually on heating.
Look at him. He loves it.
All he cares about is how warm and comfy Carrier keeps it inside.
Joe?
If you care about energy efficiency and saving money, call your Carrier dealer.
Turn the knob, Joey.
Carrier, we're the inside guys.
Jim Ward has found a fountain of youth, and he keeps it in his garage. It's Armor All protectant. It prevents his tires from fading and aging. There is a fountain of youth, and we own the patent, Armor All.
This is the end of Head & Shoulders as you now know it. It's better. Now it gets to 10 times more of the places dandruff starts to help prevent flakes. New Head & Shoulders. This could be the end of flakes.
Welcome back to Dover Downs, TNN's exclusive live presentation of Busch Grand National Racing on the network that brings you more Busch racing than everybody else combined in 1992, including the curtain closer at Hickory. Lots more Busch racing to come on TNN. Harry Gant has won twice at Dover in 11 starts. He has led 9 different races and been struck down by late race trouble while leading several times within the last 20 laps. Look who he's about to lap, the point leader, Nemechek. Get a little further back to the race at 11th place. Thought we had there Todd Bodine, number 2 point man, just slipping underneath Michael Waltrip. And that's worth 3 points each one of those spots.
I'll tell you, Mike, the way the day started for him, I'll guarantee you he'll take whatever he gets out of this thing, because he could very well have been the first guy of the race. Whatever happens the rest of the day, it's just kind of gravy now. He dodged a big bullet to start this race.
Right now, the point swing would be approximately 19 points. Nemechek would lead by 20 leaving Dover if the race finished right now. Presley would be only 145 points back, and don't count him out of the championship chase.
Well, while we were talking, Gant passed Nemechek and Hut Strickland, left the 5th and 6th place.
Let's bring you up to date on the top 10. Gant, of course, the race leader. Presley in 2nd. Jimmy Spencer in 3rd. Bobby Labonte 4th. And Kenny Wallace is the 5th place car. They're all on the lead lap, of course. And a little further back, Hut Strickland, Joe Nemechek, Bill Elliott, Jeff Gordon, and Chuck Bound. Once Harry Gant took the lead. Trouble down in turn 3. David Donohue's car shoots up and into the retaining wall. The field comes by, and it was very close company up there in turn number 3. The second-generation driver.
I noticed, I don't know whether we have that on replay or not, but I noticed that he was smoking way back up the straightaway, so he had a problem before he ever made contact with the wall. He didn't just lose the car, he was trailing smoke behind the car down the straightaway.
Fourth caution of the day comes out at lap 175.
Well, I tell you what, Harry Gant didn't want to see this, because every time there's been a caution on the restarts, he's not as good as he was before the long run. So we'll have to see if Gant even comes in. They've just about got to come in, put tires on the car. 25 to go is going to be a question mark.
I'm going to tell you, Neil, I would come in about 2nd place back, because you can put new tires on, and there's only 8 cars on the lead lap, so you pull right back up.
5 cars. He just put
5.
the
Oh. Well, they got nothing to lose then.
There's Donohue getting out of the car.
That's a good sight.
He's okay.
A little wobbly. I know how he feels. There's just a minor wreck here. It's a pretty good jolt at this wall.
Yeah. Well, that's good to see. That's Mark Donohue, the late Mark Donohue's son there. Here they come.
On pit road, leader Harry Gant. 2nd place, Robert Presley. 3rd place, Bobby Labonte. 4th place, Jimmy Spencer.
Boy, this is going to be critical right here. If Gant gets out in front of Presley, he's probably in good shape. It took Gant several laps to get around Presley. We see a big difference here. Here's Gant putting on right side tires. Presley went with lefts. I don't know if that was just because you can change lefts quicker because you're already on that side of the car. Might have been a smart move on their part.
19.5-second pit stop. 12.5-second deal. There's Gant going back out. Kenny Wallace also stopped. 12.6 seconds to stop for Presley. 19.5 for Harry Gant.
I can tell you one thing. Those boys are on that Alliance crew, because they got out ahead of Gant. That's very important now.
It's a whole new race, folks. And Robert Presley led the run off pit road. Another great effort by Ricky Pearson and his crew.
Whoa, boy, there he is, got it again. That's Donahue losing the car. He had a problem, like Buddy said earlier, but he gouged down in the side of Harry Gant's car. Look at Gant up here, just about to tag the wall, too. Must not have done any damage to Harry's car. He went with the right side. That might be the reason.
This is what I seen, all this smoke and everything. I didn't see Gant.
What a save by Harry Gant. Talk about the peak coolest move of the day.
Oh. But, you know, that was some pretty good strategy in the pits. We saw the 59 go with left sides, Gant go with rights. They're having a confrontation down in the pits, Harry Gant's pit, talking to the Busch officials. I don't know what it's all about.
They're on the horn to Harry as well. Hut Strickland stopping right alongside. Now all the cars that are one or more laps down are making their pit stops. Jeff Gordon, Chuck Bound, Tom Peck, Ward Burton, Joe Nemechek.
They're looking at his car. I don't know what for. They're looking when he come by. They were down on their knees looking up at Harry Gant's car to see something was dragging or something.
Right there, boy, took a pretty good shot in the side there, buddy. Took a pretty good shot. When Donahue got sideways, he hit him in the side there. It didn't look like it did any damage to the wheel areas, which is critical.
I think the conversation was whether or not Bobby Labonte had beaten Harry Gant off the end of pit road and who should line up where. They've got it settled with Gant in that position. 23 laps to go here at Dover Downs. We'll be right back. Robert Presley leading under the caution. Harry Gant, Bobby Labonte, Jimmy Spencer, and Kenny Wallace.
SplitFire earned a United States patent. SplitFire doesn't look like any other spark plug. And the patented SplitFire doesn't work like any other spark plug.
5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. Quicker in the quarter mile. A 4.8% gain in mileage.
There's nothing like a SplitFire. You'll get more power and more mileage, or your money back. Get the guaranteed SplitFire advantage at leading automotive stores from coast to coast.
In America, your car doesn't just get you from here to there. It's a part of your life. To give your car complete protection, Texaco has developed Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. With not one, but 3 kinds of protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Haviland Formula 3. Add more life to your car.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away.
The Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car is back in town. So you better hold on.
Spread the word around. Guess who's back in town?
If you thought Banana George Blair had found the fountain of youth,
I'm 77 and still barefooting.
you'd be half right. Because the one he's found is actually for his car. With a little Armor All Protectant, George restores the beauty of his dashboard and seats. And in minutes, it helps protect his tires from fading and aging.
It keeps my car looking almost as good as me.
There is a fountain of youth, and we own the patent. Armor All.
I hope my teeth don't fall out.
Back at Dover Downs under caution, and Paul Harvey would say, we'll give you the rest of the story and show you what happened there in the back straightaway with David Donahue and Harry Gant.
Okay, you see the 96 car move up just a little bit here, just enough, and there was contact right along behind this board here. Right here, it turns him. Now he'll come back across. Now how Harry Gant missed him is a mystery. You see this little deal right here? Instead of him coming straight across, it looked like a sure wreck, but watch what happens.
Punched him right in the side.
And just far enough back, it didn't turn him in.
About hit him and straightened him out. Let's go down to pit road and Glenn Jarrett.
Well, we're in the 34 pit. Tom brought the car back in. I'm standing here with crew chief Clyde McLeod. Clyde, what happened there?
We've just been having a bad day in here, Glenn. We run over both of Joe's tires there. We run over his takeoffs that time, too, and it's really messed up the front end of the car. And then stalled it over there, and it wouldn't start. Had to get a push. It's one of them days.
Well, at least he's able to smile about it a little bit, but that is going to hurt him badly in this points battle.
4 track workers tried unsuccessfully to push Bodine and get him started. He had one of Joe Nemechek's tires tucked up and under the spoiler. Couldn't go anywhere. So Ricky Craven came along and gave Bodine a push and got him running. So hats off to Ricky Craven, but Todd Bodine, the second-place point man, is now 2 laps behind. 1 to go. Presley, Gant, Labonte, Spencer, and Wallace to decide this one. Those and only those 5 cars are on the lead lap. These cars are 1 lap down. Nemechek in 8th. Gordon and Bound, the rest of the top 10, also on the lead lap. Mike Wallace, or on 1 lap down. Mike Wallace, Mike Waltrip, and Tommy Houston, 1 lap back.
Well, I'm kind of interested to see how this thing unfolds with Presley having left sides, new lefts. Sometimes rights are a big advantage, but he put lefts on and can't put on rights, so we'll just have to see how that plays out.
20 laps to go. I don't hear anybody leaving for the refrigerator right now.
Well, if you could put on 4, you would have seen 4 go on, but they make them put on 2, so I guess they figured that would be the advantage, to have the inside hook up more than the right. We'll see.
Along with the fact I feel like they thought they needed to beat them out of the pits, and it's easier to change lefts because you don't have to run around the right side of the car.
Watch Jimmy Spencer. His car has been very fast the first few laps after pit stops.
Yeah, if you want to see a show, watch Jimmy Spencer because there's 20 laps to go and he's going to be hustling.
This is it. It's a 20-lap Saturday afternoon shootout at Dover Down.
Wow, Harry got a bad start there. Looks like Bobby Labonte's going to get under him and get by.
Yeah, we were talking, Gant just hasn't been able to go on the starts as well as the other cars.
Well, he didn't quite make it, but he tried.
Hut Strickland is second in line. He is 1 lap down. Just 6th place.
Mike, that's just what Gant didn't need, is a car in between him and Presley. Presley's loving this. See, we see Gant not able to go like he was earlier. There he's got loose. Might have damaged that car some minute, Rick, while ago.
Yeah, he's behind Spencer now. I'm telling you, he got his work cut out for him in 20 laps to get by those cars.
Might have bent the toe in that second little incident there with David Donnie when he came back up into the side of him.
Could have hit him in the right front tire, right in the rear of the right front tire. Turned the toe in out or something, because Gant's definitely got a problem.
Fairness to David Donahue, it appeared the young driver was trying to move up to the outside so Gant could lap him on the bottom on the fastest part of the racetrack, but Harry caught him probably quicker than he thought he would.
I think the boy was doing what he wanted to move over and give Gant the preferred line inside, but I think Gant ran up him so quick he didn't realize he was there.
Wow, look at this. We got racing all over the place. Look at Bill Elliott right here. He's just getting along here.
And Jeff Gordon is still the trailer to his T-Bird. Joe Nemechek right behind. Here comes Chuck Bound up there to challenge. And there's Jimmy Spencer making a move. Here comes Spencer.
Put Spencer into 2nd place, but he's got a long way to go to get to Presley.
Bobby Labonte now back to 3rd. A long way to go now, being about 10 car lengths. There's the interval, 1st to 2nd. 15 laps to go this time.
Jimmy Spencer got loose coming out of the corner, and here comes Bobby Labonte up under him. I told you Bobby looked very strong at the first part of the race, and now it's time to go.
And Gant is the caboose in that train. Well, he's 4th. Kenny Wallace is 5th, still on the lead lap.
As they say, the bad news, it looks like he's gaining again for these guys.
The longer they run, the better that car of Gant's has gotten all day long. See if it holds true one more time here.
15 laps to go. It's going to have to come to him real quick. Whoever knows what happened in this now.
A 1.1 second lead for Presley now. That's about a dozen car lengths. Here's Gant. Looked inside of Hut Strickland, nothing there.
I think Hut will see who it is in a second, move out of the way. He should let it go because he's racing for position now.
Trouble in 3. Tom Peck scrapes the wall up on the high side. No caution. They'll stay up front as Presley leads them around. 13 laps to go. We'll be back with the finish here from Dover Downs after this. Front 5 cars on the lead lap. There they are. Next 5 cars are 1 lap back, and we'll be right back.
I done told you once, you son of a gun, I'm the fastest ever been. You play it.
Rockin' Renegade Charlie Daniels sings on the Statler Brothers Show. Tonight at 9, 8 Central on TNN.
Yes, it's a beautiful country we live in. And as TNN explores America all this year, we've got just what you need to really get around and see the sights. We're giving away, that's right, giving away a grand prize including a brand new Winnebago Brave worth $90,000. A 1992 Dodge truck, retail value $19,000. And 500 gallons of gasoline to get you around. And that's just the grand prize. First prize, a 10-day trip for two to beautiful Hawaii, plus $1,500 spending money. And 500 seconds at your favorite retail location for a shopping spree of up to $20,000. To enter, call 1-900-370-4866. You can enter as often as you like. Each call costs 95 cents per minute. Or send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to this address. Or you can pick up an entry form at your local Winnebago dealer. And wait, there's more. 10 cruises for two around Alaska, including airfare and spending money. With all these great prizes to win, you better get your entries in soon for the TNN Explores America Sweepstakes.
9 laps to go here at Dover Downs on the SplitFire 200 by Track Auto. And it's closing down to a two-car battle. Who's going to win this one, buddy?
Well, I tell you, the 44 car's running awfully well, and I think he took on right side. We'll see what happens there. I know one thing. The Alliance people did what they had to do, and the 44 car did what they had to do.
8 laps to go. Who do you think, Neil?
I tell you what, Labonte's made up a lot of distance in the last few laps. He seems to be coming on. I don't know if Presley's getting to where he's conserving that lead and just willing to give up that little gap he had, or either he's fading, or Labonte's making a strong run in the middle corner on him.
I got to tell you, I don't think he give up that much.
No, he made too much of a run in the middle corner. It looks like Labonte's car is better in the middle now.
7 laps to go. Robert Presley trying for his 5th win of the season. They are just, by the way, 3 points apart in the standings, these two drivers.
And 3 feet on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Look around here.
Look at this car close up in the center of that corner. He's got great acceleration. That may be the difference there.
Well, I think that acceleration, like nobody, comes from those tires. You know, he's got some good tires on that thing. When you can hold that front man, they feel like a lot of power.
I tell you, though, he caught him out. Presley, he's really something, and he just does not give up a lead easily.
These two fight for the lead. Meanwhile, Jimmy Spencer and Harry Gant are nose to tail for 3rd, but they're well back of the leader with 6 to go. Kenny Wallace will be 5th. He's the other car on the lead lap.
Well, Presley's got to be careful. He moves up 4 foot on this racetrack. Labonte's going to get the nose out of him. Where this 44 car is so strong is right down there going in this corner. When they drive in, not so much getting in, but he gets in the gas so much quicker and seems to close the gap up from right back here when he first stands in the gas pedal. What's the run he makes on it right here? The car really rolls off that corner good.
4 laps to go this time. Labonte's crew. Does he have enough? Enough car and enough time. 3rd place, and Gant's got Jimmy Spencer. Another one of those bold Harry Gant kind of moves against one of the toughest men to pass on any racetrack.
You know, I've watched Robert Presley every time he races. He wins by less than a car length.
That's all you need, right?
Yeah, he loves the tight. Oh, we got a caution.
Trouble in 4.
Lassiter,
3 cars.
Nemechek's in it.
Ooh, there goes the point leader, Joe Nemechek, spinning wildly down out of turn number 4. The leaders did not get the caution. They're heading for the back straightaway. Here is Presley in front. Labonte in 2nd. They'll take the caution with 2 to go, and this will be the race. Into the dust cloud out of turn number 4, and Presley hangs on to the lead. Caution is out.
Look at Nemechek backing down the racetrack.
Gets another lap there. He's 2 down, as is Todd Bodine. And we'll see how they score it.
But he's got to be careful. There he goes. Get it turned back around.
Now, stand in it and go, kid. There you go.
Light him up. Nemechek chasing points.
What a piece of driving. He's still in the same lap.
And look at Spencer and Presley. What's that about?
I don't know. Not too good.
Well,
it's not too good if NASCAR is watching the same monitor we are.
Well,
I don't know if that was a playful move on Spencer's part, if they'd had a little bit of problem earlier.
They're watching turn 4.
Of course, knowing Jimmy Spencer, he may have just been cutting up with him.
Yep.
Yeah, because after that restart, those two cars never really were that close together.
Well, Richard Lassiter is walking away. He's okay. He might well have left that car in the garage after the 6-lap caution. Here's another look at what happened. Turn 4. 1 lap to go. They take the white flag under the caution flag. Here's the replay.
There's Mike Walter coming up behind Nemechek. The caution is up in front of him. There's a car up on the
Lassiter.
top. Lassiter. He's already lost it. They lifted. Mike Walter, Nemechek lifted when he saw the other, and Walter nailed him in the rear, and then here goes Walter flying up top. There's some more cars coming in behind him.
Here comes the hard lick right here. When Nemechek comes around, he hits the 5 car with the front.
Ooh. Yeah, Nemechek slid into the 5.
Just barely.
More traffic coming at him. See, there's Lassiter already sideways, coming backwards up across the racetrack. Back behind, you see Mike Walter. Nemechek lifts. Walter hits him in the rear. Nothing he can do right there.
I will say this to Jimmy Spencer. That was his way of saying you won the race. Congratulations.
He
wasn't mad at him.
No, I hope you're right.
That's kind of like Earnhardt. He gives Elmo a hard time all the time, too.
Yep. Well, Bobby Labonte was so close to Robert Presley, and the caution flag took away his opportunity to win this race. As they come out of turn number 4, to the applause of the crowd and the checkered flag, Robert Presley scores his 7th career victory, leading 144 of 200 laps today. Let's go down to pit road. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Ricky Pearson is accepting congratulations from his crew. Ricky, a couple of anxious moments there at the end. We have awarded you the Miller Genuine Draft Pit Crew Award. That was a great stop you made there to get Robert out in first.
Well, it was. You know, the guys in the pits have done a great job here. I'd like to accept this award on all the crew of the Alliance Tractor Trailer Training Center schools, you know, all over Southeast. I'd like to thank them for their support. And I'd like to thank Ben Barnes, who's done a great job with our motors, and all the boys down there at Barnes and Reese. You know, they worked really hard to get our motors going, and you know, this crew done a great job, and I'd like to thank Miller for this award.
Well, now, you were leading a charmed life here. Robert radioed in and said you had a little engine problem there at the end.
Yeah, he didn't say anything until the caution came out there. He said the thing picked up a miss, you know, and I seen his time slowed up there for about 1/1500ths, you know, a lap, but you know, I'm just glad it's over, and you know, I know Harry had a little problem there. He'd been real hard to beat, but you know, that's the way it goes in this racing.
Well, congratulations again, guys. Every race that Robert Presley has won this year has been in this same car. It's the same engine he had last year at Dover. It's evidently only good for 200 miles, and the car's nickname, Tough Enough.
Tough enough it is. Todd Bodine gets the point lead. He's now 5 points ahead of Joe Nemechek. He did beat Nemechek to the line and around under the caution flag. That many positions were the difference. Robert Presley's about to make the easiest left turn he's had all day. Right here into victory lane. Steve Evans will be there to greet him. Let's go down to victory lane.
The car is rolling in right now. Robert Presley, we've talked earlier today about him not feeling well. He told Glenn that on the grid before the race started. I think right now he's feeling pretty good, though. They'll hold him, let him get collected up here and maybe get a little refreshment. How incredible, though, that this car should develop a miss on the last lap, just the way it did the last time we visited with Robert Presley here in the victory circle. I'll tell you the piece that Buddy Baker did earlier today about these cars being junk at the end of the race. He's right. They've got a 200-mile fuse on them, and this one just about ran out. All right, we'll try to get Robert Presley, if we can, out of the car so we can chat with the young man that did a sensational job, even though it almost got away from him, really on 2 occasions. Great job.
Oh, God, I'm glad it's over. You know, I was waiting there. I kept on telling Ricky, you know, we had Rick Mass there waiting to get in the car. It just drove real good all day. And
it almost got away from you. Harry made a sensational pass.
Yeah, well, he got left and right side tires, and we'd only pitted once there. And the car got a little push in it. And plus, I wasn't giving it all I could. You know, this racetrack rough on you anyway, and being a little bit under the weather makes it a little bit worse.
That final pit stop, when you took on the left side rubber, was that to make a quick pit stop, or did you need tires on that side?
Yeah, we had to have left side tires. You know, the car was going away a little bit, and I knew if we get left side, we'd be all right. And then after Green went back out, run about 3 laps, and things started missing. So here come Bobby, so I was glad to see that caution.
I don't know how aware you are of what was going on behind you with Bobby and with Nemechek, but this is going to do an awful lot for you in the BGN points.
Yeah, we're just going to try to keep on winning a few races and let the points fall where they can, you know. I'd like to say hey to my wife and my little boy Coleman back home. I know they're watching, so take it easy.
A win here in the Monster Mile, Mike, better than any flu shot this man could have got.
And Steve, pass along to Robert now. He's only 112 points out of the lead. He made a big gain. He gained 57 points today on the front runners. We'll be back with more from the Monster Mile here at Dover Downs as Robert Presley defeats Bobby Labonte, Harry Gant, Jimmy Spencer, and Kenny Wallace in the SplitFire 200 today. We'll be back after these messages.
SplitFire earned a United States patent. SplitFire doesn't look like any other spark plug. And the patented SplitFire doesn't work like any other spark plug.
5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. Quicker in the quarter mile. A 4.8% gain in mileage.
There's nothing like a SplitFire. You'll get more power and more mileage, or your money back. Get the guaranteed SplitFire advantage at leading automotive stores from coast to coast.
Last year, Davey Allison added something new to his car. It wasn't wider tires or a slicker shape. It was the same Haviland Formula 3 motor oil you can buy, straight off the shelf, to add more life to your car with complete protection against heat stress, starting friction, and engine dirt. Now, we're not saying it was Haviland Formula 3 that gave Davey the energy to lead more major NASCAR races than anyone last year and win this year's Daytona 500. But we're not saying it wasn't.
The Miller Genuine Draft Rusty Wallace stock car is back in town. So you better hold on.
Spread the word around. Guess who's back in town?
This is the end of how you think about dandruff shampoo, of Head & Shoulders as you now know it. Now it's better. Because new Head & Shoulders gets to 10 times more of the places dandruff starts to help prevent flakes. Hey, would you try this with your ordinary shampoo? I think not. No other shampoo has this formula. New Head & Shoulders. This could be the end of flakes. Period.
You'll recall that we came into this race with Joe Nemechek leading Todd Bodine by 1 point. We'll leave Dover and go to Martinsville, Virginia, with Bodine with a 5-point lead. Now, Robert Presley has really closed in. He gained 57 points today. Bobby Labonte will be 4th. Kenny Wallace will move up to 5th, displacing Jeff Gordon. Gordon slips back to 6th. Ward Burton leaves here just where he started in 7th. Same for Jeff Burton in 8th. Butch Miller in 9th and Steve Grissom in 10th. No change there, though those points get a little further spread out than they were. But the big moves were up at 1st and 2nd, and then back at 5th and 6th in the point standings today. Here's a man who had quite a run today and almost won this race. Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, Bobby Labonte's still sitting in the car in some desperate hopes that they'll put this thing back under green. You think you could have got him, don't you?
Well, I don't know. You know, Robert was awful strong off of turn 2, and I could beat him a little bit off of turn 4, but it was a deal where I could catch him, but I don't know that I could have passed him. I might have been able to pull up to his quarter panel, but it sure would have been fun to give him a try. You know, our Slim Jim Chevrolet run real well all day, and, you know, we got off a little bit at one time there, and they pulled away, but last set of tires my dad put on, Goodyear Eagles really worked well.
Well, the last part of the season, the first part was a little disappointing for you here, but lately you've really been coming on strong and coming back through the points. You're not out of this thing yet.
No, not really. I don't know what it is. You know, I know Robert, of course, beat us, but, you know, he's running 3rd, and I'm probably 4th, but this car here we had last weekend at Richmond, we finished pretty good with it. I don't know, I might like to take it to Charlotte.
Well, congratulations on a fine run, and good luck next week.
Okay, thanks.
He must have been listening when Buddy said catching him is one thing, passing him is another. He had a great run here today. Steve Evans?
Well, Joe has been taken to the infield emergency center. I understand that he's okay, Vic.
Well, he was fine. He got out of the car all right, but he had some pain in the side, so he wanted to have it checked. And, you know, he feels real bad. We only had a couple laps to go there, so, I mean...
You know, as a crew chief, and I'm sure Joe did too, you thought, well, maybe we're not going to win it, but we'll salvage a good points finish, and then boom, right in the side.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The Texas Pete Lazito Chevrolet was running real good. We blistered a set of tires late on in the race, and I don't know, this is kind of unfortunate for this to have happened, so I think it put us back in a point, so we'll see what happens after this week.
Indeed, we'll be watching on TNN. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael?
Vic Kangas, crew chief for Joe Nemechek. Look at the damage on the left side of that car after Nemechek spin into Richard Lassiter down there down the front straightaway, just 3 laps from the finish. How many times can we say it's never over until it's over?
Yeah, he said he had a little pain in his ribs. No wonder they almost got to his ribs with that left side. The doors caved way in.
Robert Presley, 7th career victory. Bobby Labonte 2nd. Harry Gant hung on for 3rd after that brush with David Donahue took the handling away from Harry's car. Jimmy Spencer wound up 4th today. Kenny Wallace 5th on the lead lap, moves up a little bit in the points. Hut Strickland was 6th, Bill Elliott 7th, Mike Waltrip. Mike Wallace, good run today in the Barry Owen car for Mike Wallace. And Chuck Bound got a top 10 finish to leave Dover with. Tommy Houston was 11th. Jeff Gordon faded to 12th. Todd Bodine hung on for 13th, got the point lead, as Steve Grissom was 14th. And Joe Nemechek went from 6th to 15th in the final 2 laps. Bobby Dodder, Tom Peck in the top 20, Jeff Burton, Ricky Craven, who carried our in-car camera today, and Hermie Sadler. Ward Burton, Butch Miller, tough day for Tommy Ellis, Dave Donahue, and Troy Beebe. Stanley Smith, Richard Lassiter ended up in the garage, Tracy Leslie, Larry Carroll, the local driver from here in Dover, and John Linville. Ed Barrier, first car out of the race in that lap 6 incident. 5 caution flags today, including the one that ended the race in the last 2 laps. 4 lead changes among 3 drivers, Presley, Jeff Gordon, and Harry Gant. And accolades being given in victory lane. Let's go down to Glenn Jarrett.
Well, I'm standing by here with a guy who always creates a lot of excitement. Certainly did today. Jimmy Spencer, congratulations on a fine 4th place finish.
Oh, thanks, Glenn. You know, we missed the setup a little bit, and we're off enough that we just didn't have enough to, you know, we got the second, tried as hard as we could to win the race, but Robert just had a little bit more, and we sort of hurt our left side tires. We didn't put less on the end there, and that hurt us. So we're happy with the 4th place finish.
Well, speaking of Robert, right there on the last lap, you gave him a little love tap just for fun, huh?
Yeah, at Orange County when I won the race, he sort of did it to me, and I just, you know, I like to see him win the championship. You know, them guys really work real hard, and I like Robert. He's got the same style as I got, and I love the race against him, and we raced pretty hard today, and he came out on top, which was good. But, you know, Daly's first day at Oldsmobile, another top 5 finish. We'll take it and be happy with it. Go to Charlotte.
Okay, that's the story from Jimmy Spencer. He's always smiling and always exciting. Now let's go to Steve Evans.
Well, Glenn, a couple of seasons back, if we'd have told Chuck Bound when the race was over he was 10th, you'd have grimaced, but that's a pretty steady ride for you this year.
Well, we hung in there best we could. Those first 3 cars were unbelievably strong. The early part of the race, we got really, really loose and fell back, and finally we got a caution and worked on the car some and got it going quite a bit better, and brought the Nescafe ST Pontiac home in the top 10 anyway. We wanted to run up front and win, but we just didn't quite have it for him today.
Well, keep that up, and you won't have to crash the victory banquet.
Yeah, it's nice to bring it home in one piece anyway.
Okay, Mike Joy.
Thank you, Steve. Good run for Chuck Bound today. Finishing up in the top 10. Robert Presley in victory lane. We'll be back to Dover Downs right after these messages.
When the job is tough, you need the best. And when you need the best, you reach for Channel Lock. For the power. The precision. For just plain counting on, there's only one. Channel Lock. Be sure you're getting genuine Channel Lock tools. Look for this trademark.
You know, working at AutoZone is more than looking up parts or ringing up sales. Most of all, it's listening. Because my customers know more about their cars than I'll ever know. They know every rattle by heart. I mean, that car is their baby. So when they've got a problem they're going to fix for themselves, I'm going to do my best to help them get whatever they need, no matter what it takes. Because people like that, they don't deserve anything less than the best I can give them.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sport Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Sunday, live on TNN Motorsport. When Dale Earnhardt went up against Kyle Petty, everyone wanted to get a closer look. Handsome Harry saw things a little differently and fought for position. When the time was right, he made his move and took home another win. That was last year. Can Harry Gant do it again? Live from Dover Dow. Peak Antifreeze 500 Sunday, 12 noon Eastern, live. Only on TNN Motorsport.
Exclusive live coverage of the SplitFire Spark Plug 200 by Track Auto on the Nashville Network is brought to you by SplitFire Spark Plug. More power, more mileage, or your money back. By Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. And by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft and Miller Genuine Draft Light, taking the country by storm.
Well, I'm standing by with Jeff Ammons, who is the new crew chief on the car number 36, driven by Kenny Wallace, and kind of an up-and-down day.
Yeah, we really started kind of slow. The car stayed tight pretty much all day. We were looking really for the sunshine to come out earlier, and I think that would have helped our cause, but lap traffic gave us a problem all day. But, you know, the Dirt Devil Pontiac really ran well, I think, and Kenny drove a good hard race, and we were able to, you know, come in fifth. And, you know, we're looking forward now to going into Charlotte, getting a little more test time, he and I together, and I think we'll be able to finish off the year on a, you know, very upbeat and looking forward to 1993.
Well, speaking of 93, you're going to be fielding the car for Kenny in his Winston Cup year, his debut there. This has given you a lot of time to get used to Kenny's driving style so you guys can work together.
Yeah, it's really helped us a lot. It's been a blessing in disguise. This wasn't really in the cards in the beginning, but the way it kind of came about, it's really worked out good for us. We've learned a lot about each other in the last few weeks, and I think that all this relationship and all the time we're having together is really going to help us out the first part of next year, and I'm really looking forward to next year.
Well, good luck for next year, Jeff.
Thank you very much, Glenn.
Now let's go to Steve Evans with the other half of this 36 duo.
Well, on the flip side of that record, it's given Kenny Wallace a chance to get to know that man, Jeff Hammond. How's that relationship so far?
Well, I really couldn't hear what you said, but, you know, the Dirt Devil car, it ran good today. The problem we ran into, Steve, and we should have learned it about halfway through the race, is that the car run faster on used tires. I really don't know why. We come in there with 20 to go and put on new tires, and the darn thing pushed. And come to find out, Labonte and the leaders took on about 12 to 15 lap tires.
Moving up to Winston Cup next year, you'd like to leave the BGN guys something to remember you for.
Well, you know, I think the best thing about the whole situation, this has always been a bad track of mine. It's always had something in the back of my brain. And, you know, we came here with a good race car, and, you know, and it helps me out. I can go home now and say I finally conquered this old darn place. We had a stock old Laughlin race car, and that's what I've been hollering all year long.
Thanks a lot, man. Glenn Jarrett?
Well, this is a guy that we're glad to be able to talk to now. He's been released from the hospital after a checkup. Joe Nemechek, are you still dizzy from all those spins?
A little bit. You know, the Texas Speed Chevrolet was running real good, and just unfortunate we got hit there at the end. That was one of the hardest hits I ever took, and still a little bit dizzy. You know, they got seatbelt burns on my shoulder and neck, and man, I haven't stretched like that in a long time. And you know, everything's all right, and we'll be back Charlotte. We're going to go there to win.
Well, it looked like today you were just kind of taking it easy. The car wasn't quite quick enough to run with those front 3 or 4, but you were doing a real good job, and then boom, trouble strikes you right at the end.
Yeah, I just couldn't avoid it. You know, the car was running so good, and then all of a sudden the car spun, and I knew Michael was behind me, and he didn't see it before I did, and he just bumped me just enough to turn me sideways. And when you get sideways on the radios, you're going to go for a ride.
And go for a ride he did. Glad to see you're okay, Joe. Now let's go back upstairs to Mike Joy.
Thanks, Glenn. The series moves on to Charlotte, October 10th. Martinsville, Virginia, where TNN will be there October 18th, and Rockingham, North Carolina, and Hickory. Tomorrow, the Peak Antifreeze 500 live tomorrow noon with the Winston Cup cars. Alan Kulwicki took a backup car out of the truck, 2 laps of practice, changed the engine, and put it on the pole for tomorrow. Quite a run. For Glenn Jarrett, Steve Evans, Buddy Baker, and Neil Bonnet, I'm Mike Joy, congratulating Robert Presley on his 7th career victory in the Busch Grand National Series here in the SplitFire Spark Plugs 200. Join us tomorrow at noon for live Winston Cup racing on TNN. So long from Dover, Delaware.